Live on the Railsplitter Radio Network at Guessford Broadcasting on YouTube, it's time for Lincoln Railsplitter Football. Our coverage today begins with the Build Lincoln Hire Club pregame show. BLH, a nonprofit organization since 1944 dedicated to making the student experience at Lincoln High School better. It also includes the Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner featuring Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio. Lincoln Railsplitter Football is brought to you by Brad's Collision Center, Jamia & Sons Restaurant and Catering, Christian Edwards Print and Graphics, the Build Lincoln Hire Club, Knudsen Transmission, Cash Saver, Airport Chiropractic, Livingston's Automotive, State Farm Insurance Agent Brad Van Meter, Henry J's Taco House, Blank Golf Course, Lynn Automotive, Chicago Speakeasy, Brad's Used Cars, McCray Park Animal Hospital, Vision Custom Signs and Graphics, Jack's Place Bar and Grill, Brad's Complete Auto Care, the Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm, D&J Bail Bonds, Bordenero's Pizza, Pet Supplies Plus, Amco Transmission and Total Car Care, Montgomery St. John Insurance, your Southside Hy-Vee stores, Brad's RV Repair Center, Guessford Web Graphic Design, and Smitty's Tenderloin Shop. Let's go live to the field for Lincoln Railsplitter Football and the BLH pregame show. Here is the voice of the Railsplitters, Todd Guessford.
And a good evening to you. Welcome to high school football. Todd Guessford, Larry Gamblin, our technical director, Serenity Medford, with you here at Indianola Stadium here in Indianola, where tonight the Lincoln Railsplitters, we're already into week 6. The Railsplitters 2-3 on the year, and they're coming off a big win against Sioux City North. And they are taking on tonight the Indianola Indians, who are 3-2, and they've coming off back-to-back losses to a couple of pretty good teams, Newton and West Des Moines Valley. Larry, we didn't get really a chance to talk about the end of the Sioux City North game the other night. 46 points in that fourth quarter, and about 34 of them came in the last 3.5 minutes of the game. So it was exciting, and but we just had enough to get it done.
Well, yeah, I mean it was pretty cool.
Larry's going to take a timeout here for a moment, and he'll get back to us here. But 34 points in that. Late in that fourth quarter, and of course Adam Kawak with the big game, 199 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, and Lincoln won it by a score of 39-33. Indianola last week was home here against West Des Moines Valley, and they were defeated by Valley 24-0. It was really a closer game than that. Indianola moved the ball against they were outsized. Valley's just huge up front on both sides of the line, and they were able to move the ball a little bit, but not able to do anything once they got close to the red zone or when they got in the red zone. And Valley made a couple of big plays, and they won the game by a score of 24-0. Well, here tonight should be an interesting matchup. Can Lincoln build on what they did last week? They're going to have to shore up their pass defense a little bit, and can they build on that effort and maybe pull an upset tonight? Because it would be an upset if Lincoln beats Indianola. Indianola is a very sound football team, and the Railsplitters will have to be at the top of their game to get the job done here tonight. We're trying to give you video. Our camera, of course, is giving us all kinds of problems. Imagine that. But we are doing our best to give you some video tonight. And when we come back, we're going to have our sponsor spotlight, and we will continue here. Lincoln and Indianola tonight from Indianola Stadium in Indianola, and you're listening to Railsplitter Football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
Now celebrating 20 years in the automotive repair business, Lynn Automotive is quietly taking great care of their customers with quality general engine repair work and brake repair work. Lynn Automotive specializes in finding those electrical diagnostic problems that aren't easy to find. Air conditioner trouble, need new tires? Roger and Matt Lynn can take care of it. Stop in and see them at 1712 Southeast 1st Street or call 515-282-2812. And remember, if it's broken, Lynn Automotive can fix it. Welcome back to the Bill Lincoln Hire Club pregame show. It's time for our weekly sponsor spotlight, and tonight it shines on Brad Van Meter and State Farm Insurance here at 4229 Fleur Drive in the Wakanda Shopping Center. And Brad, great to be with you. And you've been doing this for a long time, and you've been doing it at the same location for a long time. Just tell the people how you got started.
Oh, thanks so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate that. I started with State Farm in 1999 on the south side of Des Moines. I've been in the same location now for 26 years. And we serve the south side people, south side pride. We love it. We offer auto, home, life insurance, business insurance, and we love working with the people from the south side of Des Moines. They're good, loyal people, and we sure appreciate being part of the Lincoln Railsplitters and helping with that too.
And Brad, State Farm, a great insurance company. Obviously, you guys are very competitive with all the different rates, right?
Yes, we are. State Farm has actually been the number one auto insurer in the nation for since the 1940s. So we want to maintain that, and we work hard to give real competitive rates and work hard with kids and students and discounts for them and the whole package. We want to be able to do everything for everybody.
And Brad, I know one of the things you really pride yourself on is really straightforward and honest communications with your customers, and not trying to oversell, trying to give them what they need to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really more about coaching and instructing and helping people understand. I mean, insurance can be real technical and difficult to understand sometimes. So we like being able to explain what homeowners insurance means and what's covered and what's not and what you have to watch out for. And same thing with auto insurance and life insurance and everything else. We don't want to be known as that office that, I don't want to walk in there, all they do is try to sell me. No, we want to sit down and educate you. And then if there's things that are things that you really need, then of course we want to be here to help you with that.
And that includes the financial part of it too. You offer
bet.
some things with that.
Yes. We do some financial products also. More fixed products, not variable type stuff. But yeah, we do.
Brad, we really appreciate you being a Lincoln Railsplitter sponsor. Why was that important for you to do that?
I love it. I graduated back in 1980 from Marshtown, Iowa, and I played all the sports in high school and followed them really close. And I followed sports ever since I've been out of high school and played college baseball. And then my kids, I had two boys and a girl that both played sports at Ankeny Centennial. And so we followed them, coached them when they were in travel sports and everything, just like all of us. And we played Lincoln all along. And I've loved the Railsplitters. I've always thought they were very competitive teams, and the parents and people involved were always really good people. And so it was natural for me over here in the south side of Des Moines to hook up with the Railsplitters and help. And I've always enjoyed doing that.
Brad, as we close it out here, tell everybody where you're at and how to contact you.
Oh, okay. So I'm at 4229 Fleur Drive, Wakanda Shopping Mall. Number's 515-256-6480. Give us a call if you just want to visit or learn a little bit more about things. We'd be happy to help.
Brad, thank you for the time, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that wraps up our sponsor spotlight with the State Farm Insurance agent Brad Van Meter. More of our Bill Lincoln Hire Club pregame show coming up when we return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Christian Edwards Print and Graphics is more than just a printer. They're a partner you can count on to help you leave a lasting impression. Their team of experts spanning over 40 years works to understand your needs and develop strategic solutions to help you succeed. Service sets them apart. They never settle for good enough. From apparel to posters and postcards, packaging and promotional items, large format to fine print, Christian Edwards can help you reach your audience with projects of all shapes and sizes. Call them at 515-280-9765. Since 1944, the Bill Lincoln Hire Club has had one goal: make Lincoln High School better. a nonprofit agency whose funds have played a major role in every improvement project at Lincoln High School. BLH gets its funding from concession stand sales, volunteers, membership dues, and the Rail Shop, and all the money going to support the students at Lincoln High School. To become a BLH member, go to buildlincolnhigher.com.
Todd Gassford, Larry Gamblin, Serenity Memphis back here at Indianola Stadium in Indianola. It is it's a warm one tonight, and we are looking right into the sun, and I think Larry, sun bothering him a little bit, so he's taking a break. Hopefully we'll have him back here in a little bit, but it is we got a south wind about 9 miles an hour, but it's 84 degrees, supposed to be about 79 at kickoff, and I think everybody on the Lincoln side will be really happy when that sun goes down in about in about an hour or so. That sun will probably be down, so I think all the Lincoln people will be happy about that. Well, this is a game tonight. This is another one of those opportunity games for Lincoln. The Railsplitters have hurt themselves all season long. They did win the turnover battle last week against Sioux City North. First time they've done that all year. So their turnover margin right now is just at -7. That's still not good, folks. I'm just telling you, that's not good. And hopefully we will have a turnover-free game tonight. It's one of those deals where if we make too many mistakes tonight, I mean, you can really simplify this game. If we make too many mistakes tonight, Lincoln will not have a very good chance of winning this game. Indianola is -1 in the turnover ratio. They don't turn it over very much. A very sound football team and good defensively, and their offense is kind of tough to stop. So it's going to be an interesting game, and we're looking forward to it here. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will have our Friday night pick segment, and I have Phil's Chia's picks. Phil's not able to be here tonight. Hopefully Larry will be back for that, and we can do that, and we'll get to our pick segment here. We'll do that. We'll take a break. We're live here from Indianola Stadium, Indianola, Lincoln, and Indianola tonight. Big football game, and you keep it right here. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
Brad's Collision Center is your full-service body shop, preventative maintenance, and auto repair center located at 1400 Army Post Road. In business since 1984, Brad repairs all makes and models and works with all insurance companies. And when I need auto body repair, I trust Brad's Collision Center. Give them a call at 515-287-7743. Brad's Collision Center, where perfection is barely enough. At Vision Custom Signs and Graphics, speed, accuracy, and uncompromising quality are the cornerstones of what they do. Founded in 2018, they specialize in creating high-impact yard signs, stickers, decals, and banners using their top-tier tools and equipment. That, combined with the love and passion they put into every sign, is truly what sets them apart. Call 515-809-2264. Vision Custom Signs and Graphics at 5807 Fleur Drive, Suite A. Let's make something great together.
Back here in Indianola Stadium, Lincoln and Indianola tonight. Both teams out on the field warming up a little bit. And Larry Gamblin has rejoined us in the booth. And good to have you back, Larry. Hope you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, it's time for a Friday night pick segment and our conversation with Activities Director Phil Chia. Phil is not able to be here tonight, so we won't be able to talk to him, but Phil did text me his picks, Larry, and last week, we talked about that it was an opportunity week for you and I because we had some difference of opinions from Phil, and it worked out for me. I ran the table last week. I went 10-0.
10-0.
And you gained a game on him. You went 8-2, and Phil was 7-3. But Phil still has a lead, one-game lead on me, and a little more more than a one-game lead on Larry as we head into Week 6 here. Well, let's let's get right into it. First game is we're going to talk about is Ballard. The Bombers are 0-5, and they are at Medicom Stadium tonight taking on the Polar Bears. North is 2-3. Ballard, I don't think, is very good. They got beat by North Polk bad last week, 22-3. Man, North's got a great chance at a third win tonight, Larry. What do you think?
Well, I don't know much about the Ballard Bombers, so my money's going to be on the North Polar Bears.
All right, well, I am going to take North as well, and so is Phil. Phil likes the Polar Bears, so that's where we'll go with that one. Our next game is East at Norwalk, and the Warriors are 2-3. They've won 2 in a row. They won at Iowa City High last week, 40-19. Meanwhile, East was manhandled by Waukee Northwest, 63-6. This one looks like an easy one for me. I'm going to take. I'm going to take. I skipped over a game. We'll come back to the Roosevelt Sioux City East, but I'm going to take Norwalk, Larry.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against Norwalk. They have a pretty good program, so I'm going to roll with Norwalk as well.
All right. Well, I can't even read my own paperwork here. Let's go. Let's go up. The next game we had on the list was Roosevelt at Sioux City East. Roosevelt got a big win last week against Ames. I was the only one to pick them, and they came through. I was kind of a Rough Rider fan last Friday night, Larry.
Yeah, it seems as the season goes on, they're starting to develop a little bit better and become a little bit more or less a camaraderie as a team, help them, get better as the season has gone on.
Yeah, Sioux City East, I neglected to put their record in there, but they are 4-1, and their loss was last week at Ankeny. They lost 26-20. They've been a pretty good team here lately. I like Sioux City East in Elwood Olson Stadium in Sioux City tonight.
Yeah, I too also like Sioux City East in this one.
And so does Phil. So now we're back on schedule here. Sioux City North is at Urbandale tonight. We'll see Urbandale next week for homecoming. Urbandale was manhandled by Centennial last week, 42-0. And, of course, Sioux City North lost to our Railsplitters. Who do you like in this one, Larry?
My money's on Urbandale for this one.
Well, I can't disagree with you, and Phil agrees. So we're all together so far here.
Yeah.
Yep. Our next game, Ottumwa, is at Waukee Northwest. Ottumwa got manhandled by Southeast Polk, 70-6.
Well, I mean, this is Southeast Polk we're
right.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and when it comes to, in that regard, Waukee Northwest Wolves have been playing pretty well this season. Haven't lost a game yet. And I honestly believe that won't change tonight. My money's on Waukee.
I think Waukee Northwest is pretty good. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
So here's a big game tonight in our group. Centennial is at Valley tonight, and Centennial is 3-2. Valley is 4-1. We've seen Centennial. We know how good Valley is. Who do you like in this one?
That's a tough one, but my money's going to be on the Tigers. Generally, as we get through the season, as the season progresses, the Tigers, they grow as a team. They get a lot better, more consistent, and more balanced game on offense. So I think that they're about to hit their stride. So I'm going to ride with the Valley Tigers on this one.
We all agree in the first 6 games. Marshalltown is at Waukee tonight. Waukee might be the best 1-4 team in the state, Larry. They lost, and we didn't have a game on Friday night, so I watched them play DCG that was the Channel 13 game the other night, and that came right down to the end. DCG won it 29-28. Waukee's at home tonight. Marshalltown's 3-2. I'm going with the Warriors tonight.
I'm going with the Warriors too. I find that it's always easier to go with what you know versus what you don't. Marshalltown, they seem like they're a decent team, but I just don't think they have enough to get past the Warriors.
Here's maybe the marquee matchup of all the games we have this week. Johnston is at Ankeny. Both teams are 4-1. The Dragons have won 3 in a row, and Ankeny had that 26-20 win over Sioux City East last week. This may be the toughest game we got. What do you think?
I think I'm going to ride with the Dragons on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Johnston too. I think they can win on the road, and Phil disagrees. Phil wants Ankeny in that game. He's taking the Hawks at home. So that's the first game that we're not all together. Then we'll skip to college football. 14th ranked Iowa State, 5-0. I thought they looked really good against an Arizona team that I thought would give them more problems than they did.
Yeah.
And I thought Iowa State looked pretty good, but they're going into Cincinnati. They're going into Nippert Stadium, and the Bearcats are 3-1, and don't know how good they are as to who they played, but I don't know. What do you think? Tough game.
Well, for me, that's kind of how it rolls out, is that I don't really think Cincinnati's really had any team that's really pushed them to have to compete to win. I think Iowa State gets this one this weekend. I just like the way they've been playing, the way their program's been rolling, and I feel like they continue just to progress and get better.
Rocco Beck.
Right?
He good.
Right, yeah,
he's
he's
pretty
talented.
good, huh? He pretty good.
He's doing his thing for sure.
He is. And he's kind of a lunch pail kind of guy. He's not doesn't a lot of flair to him. He just gets it done.
He's basically another Brock Purdy in my eyes, honestly.
Yeah. So we're both going with Iowa State. Phil is taking the Bearcats at home on Saturday. So we have two games that we disagree with Phil, and that's our pick segment. It's been presented by Brad's Used Cars. Stop it and see Brandon at 1003 East Park Avenue, or call 515-850-1201 to find the vehicle that you have been looking for. All right, we're going to talk with head coach Tom Alessio on our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner. We'll take a break, and then we'll hear from the Lincoln head man. Railsplitters and Indians here at Indianola Stadium in Indianola will return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
It's a pet's world, and we're just living in it. That's why your locally owned Pet Supplies Plus has 10,000 products to keep your pets healthy and happy, and they're all at the guaranteed best prices. We know pets can't wait to be spoiled, so we make it easy to shop online and get free same-day delivery. Save money, save time, shop your local Pet Supplies Plus. Find us at the Wakanda Shopping Center in Des Moines and shop PetSuppliesPlus.com. Introducing Brad's Collision Center RV Repair, located at 7384 West Highway 92 in Indianola. Already a trusted and respected auto body and repair business, Brad's Collision Center now does collision repair and mechanical repair, along with general maintenance on all types of RVs. Brad also works on all types of fifth wheel pull behind campers of every shape and size, and they have storage facilities for your RV. Give them a call at 515-808-9001.
It's time for the Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner, featuring Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio. Quality and dependable automotive repair is what you get at Livingston's. Stop in at 5304 Southwest 9th or call 515-287-1372. Here is the voice of the Railsplitters, Todd Guessford, with the Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner.
Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio now joins me on our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner. Railsplitters are in Indianola tonight to take on the Indianola Indians. Lincoln's 2-3 after that wild 39-33 win over Sioux City North a week ago. Coach, that one went back and forth, especially in the fourth quarter. 46 points in the fourth quarter, but at the end of the day, we got the dub.
Right. Win's a win. I'll tell the kids all I want is one more point on the scoreboard than the others. The best thing I liked about the victory is we had to fight through some adversity. I think it pushes us to grow up a little bit and execute and focus a little bit more in those situations, and I was very happy with how the kids responded to that fourth quarter.
And, of course, the big headline was the emergence of running back Adam Kawak, who had a great second-half performance. And yes, he did, but I thought your line really blocked well for him to kind of talk about all that.
Yeah, so Adam had a coming-out party. We knew Adam's been explosive. Adam's had a little trouble with blocking assignments and retaining of plays, but has progressed himself. Each week he's gotten a little bit better. So we thought we were going to take a shot last Friday night, and the line did block really good for him. But if you go back and watch the tape, Adam broke some tackles. I mean, he ran through some tackles, and that's what we asked out of our backs. And he had a great game. Very happy for Adam.
Indianola, the Indians, the opponent tonight. They come into this game with a 3-2 record. They lost two in a row to a couple of really good teams, Newton and Valley. they are just a fundamentally sound football team. Your thoughts about them?
Yeah, I believe it's probably the best team that we'll play to date, and that's not a knock on Ankeny Centennial. They are fundamentally sound. They put their hand in the dirt and they get off the ball and they make plays. It's a very physical team. I like the way their running back runs. He runs through tackles and he's got a motor. So they present a whole lot of challenges tonight.
We're visiting with Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio on our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Lincoln offense when we return. This is Lincoln Railsplitter football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
Livingston's Automotive has been a fixture on Des Moines' South Side since 1977, offering dependable, honest, reliable auto maintenance and repair service for all makes and models, including foreign and domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs. At Livingston's, they provide only the essential services you need, verifying to the customer through visual evidence to email and directly to your mobile device. Got an issue with your vehicle? Stop in and see them at 5304 Southwest 9th Street or call 515-287-1372.
The Railsplitter Roundtable is going on location next week as we celebrate Homecoming 2025. Our roundtable will be Wednesday night, October 8th, instead of Thursday night, October 9th, and we will be bringing you live coverage of the 2025 Powder Puff football game from the new turf field below Hutchins Stadium. We'll be on the air around 6:40 or so, and we hope you join us next Wednesday night for the next edition of the Railsplitter Roundtable right here on the Railsplitter Radio Network. Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio is with me here on our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner. Tom, let's talk about the offense as you take on Indianola tonight, and fewer penalties, less turnovers, and that really gave your offense an opportunity, I felt like, to get some continuity last week, and that led to some big plays.
It did. I talked about all week last week if we could win the turnover margin, if we can limit our missed tackles on defense, but run through tackles on offense, that we had a chance to be successful. And actually, both of those things happened. We won the turnover. Adam ran through a bunch of tackles. Tank ran through a bunch of tackles. And we had a nice job on the ground. I think we ran about 415 yards last week on the ground. And we need more of that tonight. But, we're running into the heart of what I think Indianola's best part on defense is, and that's their defensive line. They consume O-linemen, and they get off the ball. So we're going to have to be one step better tonight on the offensive line.
And they will undoubtedly stack the box as well. But you talk about their defensive line really good. Their linebackers really fill holes, don't they?
They do. I think that's so because the defensive line ate up the offensive linemen, and linebackers are able to just get downhill and make plays. So we're hoping to change that tonight to where we can get the second level on some of our blocks. And, I tell the players, I tell the kids, the coaches all know, all we need is a half second to get in somebody's way, and our backs are going to be by you. So that's what we're going to go with tonight. We just got to get off the ball. We got to get in their way, and we got to let our backs do their thing.
And as good as we were offensively against North, the thing that maybe was a downer a little bit is we didn't throw the football very good, Tom. And undoubtedly, we've got to keep them off balance and throw the football a little bit tonight.
Well, once again, we have a package set to throw the ball. Nobody more than me wants to be able to throw the ball 10, 11 times a game and keep people off balance. I think it's confidence for our quarterback. If we can get him something easy that he can deliver for a completion, then I think Dom stays out of his own head and not worried about completing passes in the game. The game just flows for him then. But we can pass the ball. We just need to execute it.
Tom, Davon been really good filling in for his brother at fullback, but how great is it to have Damani back tonight?
Words can't express it. As explosive as Tank is, Bear hits that hole, and Bear's going to run over you. So we're very excited that he's back and ready to go.
All right, so we just got to take care of business on offense and don't get behind the sticks.
Yeah, number one goal is to never get behind the sticks. We don't play good when we're behind the sticks. So if we can limit our penalties, stay disciplined, get off the ball, and let our backs do the thing, I think we're going to be okay tonight.
This is the Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner with Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Railsplitter defense when we return. You're listening to the Railsplitter Radio Network at Guestford Broadcasting on YouTube. Livingston's Automotive has been a fixture on Des Moines' South Side since 1977, offering dependable, honest, reliable auto maintenance and repair service for all makes and models, including foreign and domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs. At Livingston's, they provide only the essential services you need, verifying to the customer through visual evidence to email and directly to your mobile device. Got an issue with your vehicle? Stop in and see them at 5304 Southwest 9th Street or call 515-287-1372. Back with Tom Alessio on our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner. Railsplitters in Indianola tonight to take on the Indianola Indians. Tom, let's talk about the defense. Challenging task against this Indianola offense tonight. They are about as balanced. When you look at the yardage and number of plays, they are about as balanced run and pass as any team you might see.
Yeah, they are. I love their running back, the Heimball kid. I think he runs low, he runs hard, he runs fast. And he's got a motor, just doesn't stop. You know, their pass game, I don't think, is chuck it down the field, is get it out to the flats or get something short and let their playmakers do their thing, which they do really, really good. So we're going to be locked in on defense all phases tonight. Maybe get a little heat on the quarterback might help as well.
And we don't know which quarterback is going to start. I'm fully anticipating that it'll be Asher Brick, the young man that really is the left-hander that's really good, not only throwing the ball, but he's a real threat with his legs.
He is a threat with his legs. And he throws a good ball as well. But, yes, we know our outside responsibilities. We need to keep our eyes on him. Because he fakes that ball really quick, pulls it off, and goes around the edge, or they do a little bit of quarterback draw. So we know we have to be locked on him when he's in the game.
Tom, and you mentioned Heimball, the running back. He looks great on tape as well, and he's kind of low to the ground. And you talk about a lot of kids with a lot of hats. He usually doesn't go down with just the first guy.
No, why we've extremely tried to drive this in our kids' heads all week long is we got to get multiple hops. He just got a motor. It doesn't stop. The legs are always going. He's low to the ground. And he can run, too. He's quick. So he presents a great challenge that we got to get many hats to him tonight in order to slow him down.
Tom, you've touched on it a little bit, but some of the biggest keys tonight, tackling, the gang tackling, and we just can't hurt ourselves tonight.
Yeah, as always, Todd, I believe the team that defeats us is us, right? So we have to be mentally strong, disciplined, fundamentally sound, take care of the ball, and we can't have our normal 10 to 12 penalties because it'll kill us against a great team like Indianola is.
All right, sir, as always, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight, man. Let's get a big win.
Yeah, let's go get one. Go Rails.
And that wraps up our Livingston's Automotive Coaches Corner with Lincoln head football coach Tom Alessio. More of the Build Lincoln Hire Club pregame show is coming up right here on the Railsplitter Radio Network. State Farm Insurance agent Brad Van Meters, your local agent, ready to help you protect all the people and the things that mean the most to you. Brad offers great rates on home, auto, life, renters, personal articles, business, health, and pet insurance. And State Farm can also help you with your banking and annuity needs. In the same location for over 25 years, 4229 Fleur Drive in the Wakanda Shopping Center. Give Brad Van Meter a call at 515-256-6480. Nestled in the heart of Des Moines' South Side at 6108 Southwest 9th, Board & Arrows Pizza radiates warmth and welcomes guests with open arms. With its cozy atmosphere, friendly staff, and a menu bursting with mouth-watering dishes, it's the perfect place to unwind and savor a delightful meal. Open 4:30 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 4:30 to 10 Friday and Saturday. Board & Arrows is also open for lunch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 2. Call 515-287-1607.
Todd Guestford, Larry Gamlin, our technical director tonight, Serenity Mefford. Serenity is racking her brain, doing everything she can to try to figure out what's going on with the camera. It's just how we roll here on the Railsplitter Radio Network. We just can't. One of these nights we're going to have a camera that's going to work, and we're using an external camera here. We don't have the huddle camera here when we're on the road, and it looks great at times, and then it doesn't. So we apologize. We're going to try to give you as much video tonight as we possibly can. Well, it's time to take a look at the Railsplitter offense, and that look is presented by Christian Edwards Print and Graphics, 2700 Bell Avenue, specializing in superior customer service. Christian Edwards never settles for good enough, and they are more than just a printer. Well, Larry, you heard we saw what Lincoln has the capability of doing last week. You look at this Indianola front tonight, and their guys up front. You heard Coach Alessio talk about it. They're really good, and they allow their linebackers to fill. And we got to try to get some bodies on bodies to give our guys a chance.
Well, a big thing, everybody's been talking about this Indianola team's pretty talented. It looked pretty good. Obviously, we alluded when we were talking about earlier. They run a balanced offense, 50% of the run, 50% of the pass. But I honestly believe, Todd, that if we show up and we play our best football, which means no turnovers, no stupid penalties, we could beat Indianola. They're a good team, but it's because they're solid. They're very sound. They follow the fundamentals and the rules that their coaches have instilled in them, and they don't get away with no BS. Okay, so if we come out here and we play the way that I know we can and we utilize the talent that we have, there's no reason why I would be surprised that we would win. But if we were to lose, I feel like we would probably lose if it's because of just basic fundamentals and controlling our composure.
Well, we're talking offense right now, and obviously, we ran like over 400 yards against Sioux City North, but our passing game was not so good last week, and we've got to complete some passes to keep them off balance tonight.
Well, that's the only way this works, Todd. It's not like we have, Randy Moss and Jerry Rice out there. We got some decent kids that can catch the ball, and we got a decent quarterback that can get the ball out there, but he needs time, and we need to have a balanced offense, basically 50 run, 50 pass. Keep them thinking. Keep them trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And the nice thing about our offense is we run that wing T, so there's a lot of different motions. There's a running back that's coming in motion. There's a fullback that can hit you up the middle. And then, I forgot, we have a passing game.
Right.
So when it's executed, it's beautiful, and it's very hard to stop.
And getting Bear back at fullback,
Big difference.
He can. Yes. He doesn't. First couple guys don't get him down.
Well, you have to account for him. You always have to account for him when he's on the field because yes, he's a big dude, but he's nimble and he can catch and he's agile and he actually has that extra gear in open field and he's not afraid to run through you. So you have to account for him in the middle. And while you're accounting for him on the middle, you're getting hit on the edges by our speed backs. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do against this team tonight. I'm going to see what kind of Lincoln team comes out today. We're basically almost done with the season, so this is the time to show, this is what we have to look forward to for the remainder of the season and coming next season with some of these kids that we have.
How much does it help to have Kawak at left half and Jetta at right half? You can't focus on Jetta. They saw what Kawak can do if you give Adam some room. So doesn't that help a little bit that we can go
dangerous.
Either way?
You have three different backs that are on the field that can hit you for a home run at any given time.
We just got to block.
And that makes it makes a big difference. And, yes, we just got to block. And the nice thing about the wing T offense, you don't have to block for a very long time. That's why you utilize your speed. You give him 1.5 second, boom, he's gone. That's just how that works in the wing T offense. And you have the talent. That's the thing. And you have the talent, if they had worked on it during the offseason, I don't know if they did, to be interchangeable. So you could move somebody else to fullback and move somebody else to the left back or right back.
Well, Davon looked pretty good in his brother's replacement last week.
Yeah, and then then you imagine putting Jetta Herbert where Davon plays. You know what I mean? Give him a carry there. It mixes things up. It makes them look at something different, which I'm thinking that'll be something they'll do as the season goes on. But with the talent that we have, I wouldn't count us out. It just depends on what Lincoln team shows up today.
All right, well, I spoke with Dan Goebel, the offensive coordinator, earlier today, and here's what Dan had to say. Dan, Indianola, not super big, but very physical and athletic on defense, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Very quick, very physical, well-coached football team.
And how's the matchup look tonight?
I think we match up well with them. We just have to match their intensity and do what we do, and don't put ourselves behind the sticks.
With Adams' breakout game last week, it kind of gives you teams, they have to think not only about Jetta, they got to think about if it goes not just left, if it goes right, kind of puts teams on notice a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. It's what the wing tee's meant to be. I mean, a three-headed monster, and I think Adam provides that third back that can take it to the house.
And getting Bear back this week will certainly help.
Oh, no question. He runs extremely hard, and I know if we have him in, we'll get our 3 yards. So looking forward to it.
Dan, obviously, we got to be able to throw the football tonight. That's really the key. If we can keep them off balance, complete some passes, man, I like our chances.
I agree. Once again, I think we work extremely hard on it every day in practice, and hopefully this is the game that Dom really breaks out, and he has a great passing game.
And it's just one of those games where we won the turnover battle last week. If we can do that again, who knows?
Exactly. Like I said, anymore I don't worry about the other team. I worry more about what we do. I think if we do what we need to do, we'll be there, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Dan, as always, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Offensive coordinator Dan Goebel visiting with us before the game. That's a look at the Lincoln offense tonight. We'll take a break. We'll take a look at the Railsplitter defense when we return. We're counting down to kickoff here. Lincoln and Indianola from Indianola Stadium. And we'll return right here on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
More than 80 years, Cash Saver's goal has been to provide your family with quality products. Featuring brand names like Best Choice, Always Save, Superior Selections, and Clearly, Cash Saver gives you outstanding quality and great tasting products while saving you money. Located in the Wakanda Shopping Center at 4121 Fleur Drive, Cash Saver is open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. with friendly staff ready to assist you. And remember, Cash Saver saves you cash.
Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm PLC is a committed and innovative team of legal professionals focused on aggressively pursuing justice for their clients. Located in Des Moines East Village at 301 East Walnut Street, Suite 1, the lawyers at Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm PLC can be reached at 515-288-5008. Back here at Indianola Stadium, Todd Guessford, Larry Gamblin, Technical Director Serenity Mefford here tonight. It's homecoming here at Indianola, and you know how that goes, Larry. You only schedule teams on homecoming when you're planning to have a happy homecoming.
Well, yeah, I'm curious to see what Lincoln team we have coming out here tonight, because when I played for the Lincoln Railsplitters, if you scheduled us for homecoming, that was disrespectful, and I'm going to hit you in the mouth as soon as I get on the field.
Folks, he was telling me we were chatting earlier today.
Yeah,
Larry was going off about that.
I don't like that. Like, personally, if I was a coach and I knew that you scheduled, I'm going to make sure my kids know, hey, listen, they schedule us because they think that they're coming in and this is an easy win for us, and that is disrespectful. We need to embarrass them and make them feel like their homecoming isn't even worth it by the time we're done with this game.
All right. Well, hey, well said. And let's take a look at the Lincoln defense. It's brought to you by Tamiya Sons Restaurant and Catering. Great Italian food and a bocce ball court in the back, stopping at 1501 Southeast 1st Street. And say hi to Lincoln grads Joe Jr., Mario, and Louie. Well, Coach Alessio talked about it. We're going to hear from Ramel Lane here in just a minute. But, obviously we were watching warm-ups very closely. Asher Brick, their senior quarterback who got hurt in the first play of the Newton game. He got slammed down on his right shoulder, and I saw the play. I mean, the linebacker came over and not only slammed him but put all his body on that right shoulder. So he didn't play the rest of that game. He didn't play against Valley last week, but he looked good. We were just watching him in warm-ups. He looked pretty good, didn't he?
It's going to be very difficult for the Lincoln tonight. You know, one of the biggest things about Indianola, the Indianolas and the Atumas of the world, these are farm boys, okay? So there's nothing special that you're going to do here tonight. It's just going to be basically who's bad, you know, in the form of Michael Jackson. Who's going to come out here and hit him in the mouth every single time? If you come out here and hit Indianola in the mouth every single time, they're going to respect you, and they're going to know, hey, you mean business. Because ultimately, that's what Indianola is going to do. They're going to pound that rock, and then they're going to play action fake, hit that pass, run the rock some more. They play simple-minded ball, but it works. That's the point. You don't need nothing special when you have guys who are just bought into everything that you're preaching.
Like their running back, Daxton Heimball, who is he goes 5'9", 175, and he's low to the ground, and he is a load.
He's not very big, but it's always going to take more than one person to take him down. He's not just going to let an ankle tackle take him down. It's going to take multiple players flying to the ball. You're going to need, if you got 11 men on the field, ideally you want 11 men on the ball. You just need crowd gang tackling in this game, because you're going to have backs who are just going to run through you and continue to just push and push and push. No matter how many times you hit them, you're going to need 4 or 5 guys on them every time. And you're going to find out real quick, if you just try to meet up with them one-on-one, he's going to embarrass you.
We got to have a spy on Brick tonight, too, their quarterback, because they'll run some quarterback draws with him, and he could really hurt us with his legs tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's quite simple. You play containment on the outsides, and then you have a linebacker spy them. I personally would use Max. Max is very intelligent. He's a very intelligent football player. He's a very intelligent linebacker. I coached him when he was younger. His sideline-to-sideline speed isn't quite what you would want it to be, but he's so smart.
He can be in the right place.
He's so smart. He's always in the right place. So I would tell you right now, I'd have Max on him all night. If not Max, I would use DJ or Muhammad as a spy, because if you use Muhammad at the defensive end, he can play containment, but he can also play pass.
Well, let's hope Darbaugh puts a few hits on him on some fakes tonight, kind of introduces himself.
Well, you know what? I'm all about being a smart player and not getting penalties. But if you're 1 or 2 steps away from him before he releases that ball, lay the wood. Hit him every single time, because then he's going to be like, hey, listen, we need to watch out for Darbo, man. He's on me like white on rice. 29, he's coming around that corner every single time. You've got to pay attention to him, because he's going to be alert, and he's going to try to get that ball out faster.
Makes you think a little bit.
Yeah.
I would assume Indianola, they watched the tape against Sioux City North. I'm sure they're like shark that sees blood when they look at our secondary, but because we really got hurt. But Jetta's going back to free safety tonight, so hopefully that's kind of his natural position. Hopefully he and Naz and Braylon back there, and I'll tell you, Derek Dare, we haven't talked about him. Man, he was really good on defense last week.
Yeah, he played very well last week. I was very impressed with some of the plays he was making. He was getting his nose in there, and clogging some of them holes. But I think that if they want to be successful tonight, they should keep Jetta Herbert at linebacker. Sending that blitz with him, it causes a commotion, because it causes more people to have to block, which in return opens up your defensive ends for one-on-one sets. And I don't know about you, but I don't know too many tackles that can take Muhammad on by himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, I feel like when Jetta's at safety, his eyes are too far in the backfield a lot of the time. So if he's looking for a run, you may hit him over the top. I hope that doesn't happen tonight. But he's so aggressive, it's better just to have him around the line of scrimmage versus have him play safety.
Well, I think we're going to dog a little bit tonight with the run. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I caught up with Ramel Lane, the defensive coordinator. Here's what Ramel had to say. Ramel, really a tough assignment tonight with Indianola. They run and pass, and it's about 50-50, so they work real hard to keep you off balance, don't they?
Yeah, I'm saying they got a good football team over there, and like you said, they're pretty balanced run and pass. We got some different things that we're going to do this week, but we got to make sure we know what our keys are and know what our assignment is all night.
It's not a huge mismatch up front, but we got to really be aggressive and come off the ball. And I thought Chase and Landon were really good inside last week.
Yeah, and that's what I was just talking to Coach Jackson about. I think our defensive front has to be huge for us this week, for us to be aggressive and for us to have a chance up there. Those two guys, like you named, Chase and Landon, had a great game last week. They made some big plays to help us, and I think we need that kind of effort from them again this Friday night.
You look at their quarterback situation. The Blake kid's been playing because the Brick kid's been hurt, but he's been practicing this week, so we may see him tonight. I know he can really cause problems with his legs, can he?
Oh, definitely. I'm saying I watched the first couple games. I'm like, man, this kid's a player. Then I saw that he was out, and in the Valley game, you can kind of see he's in the back with the sling on. I was like, man, I hope he doesn't play against us. Obviously, I don't want anybody to be hurt, but I think he's a difference maker for that team.
If he doesn't go, then Blake's at quarterback. He's not really a runner. Does that help you a little bit? Although Heinbaugh, their running back, is just a bowling ball and hard to get on the ground.
I'm saying, yeah, it makes it a little bit easier because whenever you can run with the quarterback, that's a dangerous weapon for any offense. But if we got to stop the run regardless if he's playing or if he's not, because their running back's just as good as a runner as the quarterback is. So,
biggest keys tonight:
stop the run and win first down. Create turnovers always, though.
And we won the turnover battle last week, so that was good.
Yeah, and we need that same effort this week, and I get to give ourselves a chance.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
Defensive coordinator Ramel Lane visiting with us before the game, and it just we got to be. You said it, Larry. We got to be fundamentally. I mean, we got to be fundamentally sound tonight to have a chance.
Well, yeah, it's very sad, and I know there's a lot of football people out here who grew up around football, who plays attention to football. Maybe not as much as I do, or as much as a lot of people who love football do, but we have a very good team. And I don't say that lightly because everybody knows how I am. I'm very picky, but we have a very good team from a talent pool perspective. But we just get in our own way a lot of the times, and that's the biggest thing. We can compete with this Indianola team. Our defense can hang with this Indianola team. We just have to play our form of football and minimize the penalties.
All right, well, that sounds like some keys to victory, and we're gonna get those from Larry here in just a moment. We are counting down to Lincoln and Indianola here. We're about 17 and a half minutes away from kickoff, and we will return. The camera is working at the moment. Yay! Everybody pray together. The camera works. We'll return. You're listening and watching Lincoln Railsplitter football.
Voted City View's best tenderloin for 10 years running. Smitty's Tenderloin Shop is just one of those places on the south side that everyone knows and loves. Family owned and in business since 1953, Smitty's makes their tenderloins and onion rings from scratch every single day. Dine in or order out by calling 515-287-4742. Smitty's Tenderloin Shop at 1401 Army Post Road. Smitty says, eat a tenderloin. Are you looking for that perfect gift for the favorite golfer in your life? Well, why not purchase a gift card from your Southside City of Des Moines golf course, Blank Golf Course? Gift cards are available 7 days a week from sunrise to sunset, and a gift card is good to go for golf at the other 3 city golf courses, Waveland, Jester, and Grandview. For more information, call 515-248-6300 or stop in at Blank at 808 County Line Road.
Back here at Indianola Stadium, it's time for Larry Gamlin's Keys to a Rail Splitter Victory, presented by Chicago Speakeasy at 1520 Euclid Avenue with their succulent prime rib, hand-cut steaks, and 40 items on their famous salad bar, combined with their superior service. A very pleasurable dining experience awaits you at Chicago Speakeasy. All right, my friend, you touched on them a little bit already, but let's officially get them out there right now.
Well, yeah, first and foremost, have a little respect for your school, have a little respect for yourself, and have a little respect for your football program. When you're on that field, don't do things that are going to jeopardize your team's success to winning. Don't create turnovers for your team. And
so play disciplined football.
Play disciplined football. Play the way that I know you're coached, because I know you're coached because your coach was my coach. So do what you do. Play the game the way the game's supposed to be played. Play balanced football, and let the defense get after it. Those are the 3 things that you need. We need a defensive just dogfight tonight. Make it come down to the last minute where we have the better players and we make that score that basically puts us and lets us right off into the sunset with a victory.
Larry, we got to be pretty good on first down on both sides of the football tonight too, don't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The biggest thing for us is just turnovers. If we can just minimize our turnovers and play our ball game, we should be fine. This team is good. Indianola is a good program, but they're not
unbeatable.
They're not unbeatable. No, they're not. And a lot of people are coming here thinking, oh yeah, this is our homecoming. This is the team that we pick. We're gonna knock them out of the water. There's no way we lose this game, and that gives you an advantage. If you have any grit about you as a football player, that should, I don't want to cuss, but that should pee you off. You should be so upset right now.
I'll tell you what, folks, Larry's about ready to put some shoulder pads on and go out there. He's ready. Larry's fired up tonight, and I love it.
Well, yeah, you never disrespect a program by picking them on your night, especially my program. If you're picking my program, that means that you think that this is how you're going to be successful, this is how you're going to win your game, because you know that Lincoln is not anything that you have to worry about. And I feel like that's disrespectful, and I feel like you should prove them wrong.
All right, well, that's Larry Gamblin's keys to a Rail Splitter victory presented by Chicago Speakeasy. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, and we'll do that when we return. We're counting down to kickoff here. We're about 13 and a half minutes away from opening kickoff, Lincoln and Indianola. And this is Rail Splitter football on the Rail Splitter Radio Network.
If you're in need of affordable and reliable auto care, look no further than Brad's Complete Auto Care, located at 1001 East Park Avenue. Whether it's oil changes and brakes all the way to fluid flush and component replacements, diagnostics, vehicle inspections, and more, Brad's Complete Auto Care could do the job for you and get you back on the road with peace of mind. Stop in or give them a call at 515-957-4271. The Des Moines Southside Hy-Vees, Fluor, Southridge, and Park Avenue locations are more than just proud sponsors of Lincoln High School athletics. Your neighborhood Hy-Vee is a full-service grocery store. It's a bakery, a deli, a pharmacy, the meat market. Hy-Vee caters. There's the floral department and so much more. And don't forget about the quality Hy-Vee brand names, which along with using your Fuel Saver card, saves you money. Shop Hy-Vee at 4605 Fluor Drive, 1107 East Army Post Road, and 3221 Southeast 14th Street.
Back here in Indianola, it's time for the Rail Splitter starting lineups presented by Bordinero's Pizza. Great pizza and pasta 6 nights a week. Stop in and see Bordy at 6108 Southwest 9th for lunch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, the Lincoln starting lineup tonight at left tackle on offense, Hassan Sirleaf, 6'225", a senior. At left guard, DJ Armstrong, 6'185", a sophomore. The center, Ethan Sanchid, he rolled an ankle last week, and it's been bothering him all week, and this kid has been doing everything he can to get on the field, and he is not 100%, Larry, but this kid is you would love this kid. He's great attitude, and he's going to grit it out and go tonight at center, and he's 5'7", 175, a senior.
Sounds like a Southside kid to me, a real bulldog, going to go out there and give it all he can. That's all you can do when you're hurt.
We'll keep an eye on him. If he can't go, it'll be Tim Croy who will take over the snapping duties tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. At right guard, Anthony Macarino, 5'9", 215, a junior. Right tackle, Gavin Taylor, 6'3", 185, a junior. At tight end, Max Jones, 6'2", 205, a sophomore. The quarterback, Dom Severino, 6'1", 155, a junior. At fullback, it'll be Damani Wesley, 6'225", a senior. At left half, Adam Kowak, 5'6", 150, a junior. And at right half, it'll be Jetta Hubbard, 6'2", 185, a senior. The wide receiver will be Derek Dare, 6'2", 165, a junior. On defense for Lincoln, Damani Wesley will be at left end. DJ Armstrong and Landon I'll play some left end along with Damani. Landon Weber, what a game he had last week. 5'8", 205, a senior. Chase Erickson, 5'9", 205, a junior. Those two inside tackles, they had, between the two of them, they had about 4 tackles for loss last week. Larry, they were, you remember 95 and 55 running out there. They were pretty good.
They did pretty well. I was very impressed by their play. They really were aggressive. They were tenacious. And they rotated him in and out, so they stayed fresh for most of the game. So, they played pretty well.
At right end is Muhammad Darboff, 6'1", 210, a junior. At Will Backer, it'll be DJ Armstrong, 6', 185, a sophomore. The Mill Backer is Max Jones. And the the star backer tonight will be a Davon Wesley. and he's a 6 foot, 225-pound senior. You'll see a lot of Evan Handy out there as well, 5'8", 170, a sophomore. The cornerbacks at left corner, it'll be Braylon Jenkins, 5'9", 135, a junior. At right corner, Naz Yaibara, 5'7", 160, a junior. And then the safeties, Caden Haas, he's been playing really well, 5'7", 155, a senior. He's the strong safety. And Jetta Hubbard, 6'2", 185, a senior, will be at Wilbacker in safety. And you also see Derek Dare back there at safety, 6'2", 165, and a junior. We're going to pause a moment here for our national anthem. Our national anthem, well done by the Indianola High School Marching Band. And that's going to wrap up our Build Lincoln Hire Club pregame show. The opening kickoff is coming up next on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
Your Des Moines area transmission experts, Knutson Transmission, has been serving Des Moines and the entire state of Iowa since 1951. Their quality, reliable, and honest work, combined with their integrity and reputation, has made them second to none. With the best products from top quality vendors, the guys at Knutson give you the assurance of being back on the road as soon as possible. At 4301 Southeast 14th Street, give them a call at 515-285-7561. Knutson Transmission, for those who want the best. It's a Southside landmark that keeps going strong. Henry J's Taco House, located at 2924 Southwest 9th on the corner of Southwest 9th and Virginia. Henry J's Taco House is celebrating over 50 years in business. Now, Henry J's isn't just famous for their tacos, burritos, and enchiladas. Their sausage sandwiches made with Graziano sausage may be the most popular of all. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Henry J's Taco House. Stop in and see them.
You've been listening to the Build Lincoln Hire Club pregame show. It takes just $15 to be a BLH member. For more information, go to shop.buildlincolnhire.com. The opening kickoff is just moments away on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
If you're experiencing pain, you need to call Dr. Tom Schultz at Airport Chiropractic. Making families in Des Moines feel better for over 30 years, the experienced team at Airport Chiropractic offers expert care for neck pain, back pain, headaches, sciatica, and many other health issues. Located at 4214 Fleur Drive, Suite 4, just 1 mile north of the airport, let Airport Chiropractic help you live your best life. Call 515-285-4000.
On the Railsplitter Radio Network, it's time for the Montgomery St. John Insurance First Half, providing independent insurance to Iowa and the Central Midwest for over 50 years. Call 515-287-2443. Here's the voice of the Railsplitters, Todd Guessford, with the Montgomery St. John Insurance First Half.
And the sun is going behind the bleachers on the far side, and I can speak for my comrades up here that is wonderful news. And we found the light switch. Larry found it downstairs. Great job, Larry.
Well,
so now we can just get the camera to work. We're good to go.
Right now I can actually see the field. That sun is right in my eyes over here on this far end. But yeah, I'm ready for this football game to start.
And speaking of sun and sunset, our weather report brought to you by the Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm PLC, a committed and innovative team of legal professionals focused on aggressively pursuing justice for their clients. Give them a call at 515-288-5008. Well, It already feels cooler for us just up here in the broadcast booth. It's only about 3 or 4 degrees cooler down on the field. Temperature now about 79 degrees. Very little wind. We had a south wind about 9, but it's pretty limp on the flagpole now, Larry. Wind going to be obviously no factor tonight. And, these teams been practicing all year in heat. So, this time of the year, you should have the hydration thing mastered, right?
I mean, for some people, it's 79 degrees. It's hot out here. For people who work outside and for these football players who've been out on the field all summer, this is a little breeze, a little break for them from the humidity, honestly. It feels a lot cooler to them than it does to a lot of other people out here.
Well, we were listening to the Indianola starting lineups. The public address announcer was announcing them, and Bo Blake, the junior, who started, he came in after the first play of the Newton game, and then he started against Valley. He is at least going to start the game tonight. I'm guessing we'll see Asher Brick at some point. They're going to have, I would think they'd have some plays for him, don't you think?
I mean, he was out there throwing the ball a little bit around.
And he looked good.
He looked fine. He looked pretty healthy. I think maybe it's just a tactic that they're using in this game. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
So the Indians getting ready to come out on the field here. As we mentioned, homecoming tonight for Indianola. We'll have our captains coming out in just a few minutes. This is a Group 4 matchup tonight. The other Group 4 matchups this evening, we talked about them a little bit earlier, but Sioux City North is at Urbandale tonight, and then of course the big one is Centennial. They and Valley get together at Valley Stadium. Those two teams are 2-0 in the league. Lincoln's 1-1, Indianola 0-1. Sioux City North is 0-2, and Sioux City North is 0-1, and Urbandale is 0-2. Here come the Railsplitters out on the field. You got a quick glimpse of them on our blinking camera here. So Lincoln, man, this would be, we can't. I don't think we can overemphasize it, Larry. But this would just be a really, boy, if we could find a way to beat this team. Think of the confidence we would have going forward into homecoming next week against Urbandale, which, Urbandale going to be a tough game too.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they were able to beat this team, it would certainly put the other programs on notice that, listen, when Lincoln's on fire, they're a tough team to beat. But it all starts with us, right? It starts with our mentality during the game. It starts with how we execute it. If we can do those things, I don't see why there's any reason, that we're not in it at the end.
Captains are coming to the center of the field, and tonight's captains are presented by Knutson Transmission at 4301 Southeast 14th Street. Knutson Transmission for those who want the best. Lincoln captains, Hassan Sirleaf is out there along with Damani Wesley, Max Jones, DJ Armstrong, and Ethan Sanchit. Our referee tonight is Michael Hansen, and this is just a rehearsal. They did this. They met with the captains earlier, and it looks like Lincoln has won the toss. And Tom Alessio style, Larry, they will defer, and so we will see the Indianola offense and the Lincoln defense going at it right away here.
Well, yeah, let's hope our defense comes out and they set a tone. That's what we would really like to see ideally when this game starts. Defense comes out, sets a tone, says, hey, we're here to play, get a 4 and out, and hopefully our offense, comes out and shows us a little something. That's ideally what we would like to see.
Our officials tonight, the referee is Michael Hansen, the umpire Todd Waddell, the head linesman Daniel Grooms, the line judge Bruce Feuerbach, and the back judge is Andrew Steffensmeyer. Our opening kickoff is presented by Blank Golf Course, located at 808 County Line Road. Buy that favorite golfer in your life a gift card. I hope my daughters are listening. Buy a gift card at Blank, Grandview, Jester, or Waveland. Call 515-248-6300 for more information. They might be listening, but I don't think they're going to make the trip over to Blank Golf Course. Just Dad's prediction here.
I just don't know if it's all clicking when they hear it on the radio.
Yeah, they're not picking up on my hints there, Larry. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it is. Yeah, you're just going to have to blatantly ask for it.
All right, well, it'll be kicking off for the Railsplitters. It will be Salatiel Mache Gaisho.
Good job.
I got it. I think I got it. I've been talked to him earlier this week, and he said, "Yeah, you got the first name right, but the."
Kicking off for the Rails, number 84, Massachusetts.
So Salatiel has it on the tee at the 40-yard line, and deep for Indianola is Parker Adams and Luke Gordon. We're ready to go.
Here we go.
And glad you're with us here on the Rail Splitter Network. Salatiel drives it deep, and Gordon will take it. He bobbles it about the 2-yard line, picks it up. A lot of white shirts, and he barely gets past the 10-yard line.
Nice.
So that's a great start. Jetta Hubbard was down there, and Isaac Parker, we don't talk about him enough, but he's in on a lot of special team tackles, and he was in on that one.
Well, he certainly does his part, right? You know, whether it's on special teams or he's taking a couple reps defensively or offensively, he makes his presence known on the field, and that's all you can ask out of that young man.
So they spot the ball at the 10-yard line, so that's where Indianola will start. 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line. And Bo Blake is the quarterback, and he gives to Heinball running off the right side. He's got big room, and he may go all the way. He's down the far sideline, and, man, he just ran off that right side, and there was, they walled it off. There was nobody there. One play, 90 yards, 6-0 Indianola.
Well, there's not much you can say there, Todd. You know, we talked about it during the break. They have a very talented team, and this isn't a dog and pony show for them. They come out here, they're ready to play. This is their homecoming. They're fired up.
I don't think anybody touched him, did they, Larry?
No. The linebackers hadn't even gotten out of their 2-point stance before he was running past them.
But hold everything. Hold everything. We have a flag. Back at about the 19-yard line. This one is coming back.
Oh, man, what a break
Hallelujah.
for Lincoln.
Hallelujah.
Now we just can't let that happen again.
Wow.
No, man, obviously there was a reason that hole was so big, right?
I think it was what the official is not looking our way, so we have to try to figure out what he's signaling there, but I think it was a hold on Indianola, and it's spotted back. It's spotted at the 9-yard line, so it is a 1st and 9 or 1st and 11 at the 9. Man in motion. Blake hands off to Heinball again. Same play off the right side. This time he barrels up across the 15 to about the 16. We got a few more white jerseys over there that time, Larry.
Yeah, we better contained it that time, but it looks like it was still a gain of probably at least 4 or 5 yards there. And if they stay on track with that, man, we're going to have some issues. We're going to need to stop that a little, maybe 1 or 2 yards versus 4 or 5 yards on each carry.
Well, they spot him up at the 16, so it's a gain of 7.
Oh, see, yeah.
2nd and 4 coming up for Indianola. On their own 17. Well, they spotted up the 17-yard line. Here's Spender, the tight end, in motion. Blake hands it off and barreling up across the 20-yard line. I think that was Heinball again. It was. And Indianola going quickly here. Now they're going to go with the
sneak,
the push-tush, and they try to on a 3rd and 1 at the 20. And Blake, the quarterback, he's a big kid, 6'2". And did he not get it? Good job. Wow.
Looks like they're saying he's short. I'm surprised.
Wow.
Nice job by Lincoln.
Yes. So 4th and 1. So the first big decision in this game for Eric Kluver, Indianola. And, boy, looks like they are bringing out the punt team. So, hey, Larry.
That's what we needed, right?
Yeah. Watch for the fake. Watch for anything here. But this could be dangerously close to a 3-and-out. And nope, they are nope.
Oh no, this doesn't look like
they got Brick in there, and they're going to run it on 4th and 1. And boy, I don't know. They stacked him up. I'm not sure he got it.
I don't think he did.
Boy, that left side of that Lincoln defense over there. Derek came up from the safety spot, and
he's calling the first down.
They're going to give it to him. So 4th and 1.
And if he got it, he barely got it.
That's right. That was. That was a good surge by Lincoln's defensive line there. 1st and 10. Indianola on their own 22. Just underway here. Glad you're with us here on the Railsplitter Radio Network. Backs on either side of Blake here on this first down play. Now Rylan Hilton, their top receiver, in motion across the formation. Here's Blake, fakes, wants to throw, throws it out, and it's almost intercepted.
Great
over there
play.
at about the 28-yard line. Jetta Hubbard, he jumped the route and he almost picked it off.
He's showing up to play tonight. It was a great read, man. It broke on the ball, knocked it down. I mean, you can't ask for more. Let's hope this continues.
2nd and 10 for Indianola. Parker Kaufman, along with Rylan Hilton and Parker Amos, are their wide receivers here. Pistol formation here on 2nd down. Hind ball in the backfield. They give it to him. He fights his way. He's still going.
Running.
He's up across the 30, man. He just doesn't go down.
No.
You can't just. You got to wrap up with him, Larry, and he picked up big yards up to about the 35-yard line. They're going to move the sticks.
He is the type of back you literally have to tackle him through his hip. You can't go too high because he'll run you over, and you can't go too low because he's got tree trunks for legs, and he'll just drag you down the field. You got to hit him at hip level and drive through in order to take him down. And you need more than one person on the hit because one man is not going to be able to be successful at that without him gaining at least 2 or 3 yards on that carry.
1st and 10 for Indianola on their own 35-yard line. Pistol formation. Hilton in motion across the formation. Blake takes a snap, wants to throw, rolling to his right, looking, throwing deep. Hilton was behind the defensive backs. He got behind Dare and Hubbard back there, but the pass, thank goodness, was overthrown.
Well, yeah, Todd, this is one of the things I was just talking about. You know, Jetta's his eyes are in the backfield a lot, and he kind of gets caught sometimes in the passing when he's trying to read that play action. And if he gets too far in, they're going over the top with those plays. Luckily, that quarterback wasn't as accurate as they were hoping for.
So 2nd and 10 for Indianola on their own 35. 2 receivers to the near side. Here's the give to Heinball again, and he busts through, man. He just weaves his way up across the 45-yard line before Caden Haas got him on the ground, but their offensive line really we're not getting any penetration up front.
We're not, and they're keeping it balanced. Even though the passing game really isn't doing anything, they're still taking the shots, so you have to respect that there's a possibility that they may take a shot downfield, which in return you can't load up the box like you want to.
Daxon Heinball, last 3 games, has rushed for over 100 yards. He had 150 against Valley last week.
Well, if he continues at this pace, he may beat both of those.
Here's a give to him again off the right side. Breaks a tackle. He's in the secondary, still running. And finally, Darbaugh drags him down at about the 34, maybe the 33-yard line. That was a big gain.
Well, those holes are opening up so big, you could drive a truck through it, and he's taking full advantage of it. He's being patient. When he's getting to that second level, he's dropping his shoulders and running through these linebackers, and they're just continuing on the path that they want.
20-yard gain for Heinbaugh, and Indianola just kind of methodically moving down the field here, Larry. 1st and 10, they have it in plus territory at the Lincoln 34. Hilton and Graham wide to the near side. Here's Blake, fakes, wants to throw down the field, looking for Hilton. He's got him, touchdown.
Yeah, these guys, their eyes are so far on the backfield, they're not reading these receivers, and these receivers are running crisp routes. They're going to have to play off of these receivers and try to read the pass first, run second, let your line focus on the line. 34-yard
pass play. Adam Kowak got beat on the coverage there, and it's a 6-0 Indianola lead. Kyan Ruiz into attempt the extra point, pardon me. Good snap, ball's down, kick is up, and it's good. And Indianola leads here 7-0 with 7:27 to go here in the opening quarter. Let's take a break, Serenity. We'll come back. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Located just north of Lincoln High School, McCray Park Animal Hospital not only supports the health and well-being of your family pets, Dr. Chris Knable's been a longtime supporter of Lincoln Athletics, watching his 4 kids compete through the years. Family owned and operated for over 40 years, you and your pet's needs are their top priority. So bring your pets to McCray Park Animal Hospital at 2227 Southwest 9th or call 515-282-0600, the home of your other family doctor, your veterinarian.
So the Indians go 90 yards in 10 plays, and it's capped off by a 34-yard touchdown pass from Bo Blake to Rylan Hilton. And that is your McCray Park Animal Hospital scoring drive. McCray Park Animal Hospital at 2227 Southwest 9th, just north of Lincoln, is family owned and operated for over 40 years. You and your pet's needs are their top priority. McCray Park Animal Hospital, the home of your other family doctor, your veterinarian. Ruiz will kick it off. Lincoln will get the football for the first time tonight. And he drives it right down the field, and it's taken on a knee by Jetta Hubbard. He had to go down to knee to secure that ball, or would have bounced away. So a smart play. Lincoln will take over on their own 21. So Larry, let's see if we can answer here.
Yeah, we need to try to answer on this play. We can't have a 4-and-out here, especially with Indianola driving the whole field to score a touchdown. We got to continue with them, try to stay with them, and keep this game close the best we can.
Railsplitters come up, and they line up in the pistol wing tee. Severino's the quarterback, and it is Davon Wesley who is back there on this first down play. They pitch it out to Davon around the left side, and he breaks a tackle, and he's up across the 30. We'll see where they spot it. I think they're going to say he went out before he got to the sticks, but nonetheless, Larry, a good gain on first down.
That's how we want to start off the game, positive yardage, nice run. We just got to continue on this path now.
And, they spotted it clear back at the 28-yard line, so it is a gain of 7 on the play. The 2nd and 3 coming up. Pistol wing, or just a pistol this time. Here's Severino, throws it out, and the pass is dropped out there by Chaz Thomas, and he might have heard footsteps because he got hammered out there by Draylon Westcott, their safety. But the ball was, you got to catch the ball.
Well, yeah, that's just something you'll learn with experience, When you're put out there, your job is to catch that ball, and there's always the possibility you're going to take a big hit, but you're still expected to execute that play.
And it was a good pass from Dom. 3rd and 3 at the 28. Here's a give off the right side to Kawak, and Adam is stacked up. And I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So it's going to be a 3-and-out for the Railsplitters here.
Well, now we're just going to need our defense to make a stop. We can't afford to get down by 14 in this game.
Jetta Hubbard back to kick. And it is Luke Gordon deep for Indianola. Now Jetta's going to run with it off the right side, and he's got the first down. 35-40, 45 midfield, and they stack him up, and he's still driving down to about the 45-yard line. Indianola thought they had him stacked up, Larry, and Jetta just kept fighting, and he has that option back there if he sees it. We had it walled off on that side.
Well, we talked about this last week and the week before last. By having Jetta be your punter, it's very dangerous because you never know when he's going to take off, and he's an aggressive kid. So I'd say 5 times out of 10, he's going to try and make an opportunity to get that 4th down. And it doesn't matter if it's 4th and 15 or 4th and 20.
And that's an Airport Chiropractic chunk play of 27 yards. Now they pitch it to Jetta, and he's dragged down in the backfield trying to run off the left side. And that was a good play there by Max Waljasper, their outside linebacker. But Jetta ran for 27 yards.
Well, and you have to continue to try to hit the corners, make them respect that you will try to run on those corners, and then it opens up for Wesley up the middle. Hand him off, see what he can do.
If pain is preventing you from living your best life, call Dr. Tom at Airport Chiropractic. 515-285-4000. Here's a give to Damani, and Indianola seemed to know that was coming. They had him stacked up. Their safeties are really, looks like they're really rolling their safeties up front, Larry, and it's at least a 44 for sure right now.
Well, yeah, it looks like they were going to go through the 5-hole or the 7-hole, and it got blew up in the backfield. So then he had to cut it to the inside, in which case there was nothing there as well. So he just got what he could on the play.
And Damani lost 2 yards. And he comes out of the game a little shaken up.
Yeah, that's never a good sight.
So Davon, his brother, is back in there. And it is 3rd and 15 at the 50. Here's Severino throwing, intending for Adam Kawak, who was came out of the backfield, running down the left sideline. And pass was overthrown a little bit, so it's 4th down.
Yeah, it was a nice thought to try to take that shot downfield. And one thing that Dom's going to want to pay attention to when they look at film, throw that high and outside, not so much inside. High and outside, the only person who can get that is his receiver.
So it's 4th and 15 at midfield. And if you don't think that Jetta Hubbard will take off from the 50-yard line, he just took off from the 28. But I'm sure Indianola is going to pay very close attention to number 2. And this time he will kick it. And he kicks it to the far side. It's taken at about the 17-yard line by Gordon, coming up the near side. Cuts it back. And Derek Dare finally grabs him and yanks him down at about the Indianola 46-yard line. So it was about a 28-yard punt return. And it looked like Indians maybe had a return set up. They had a nice wall here on the left side, Larry.
There were just some bad angles by some of the special team players for Lincoln. If you saw Max, he came down, but he came down uncontrolled, so he couldn't break down to make the tackle. Just some of the things that they need to pay attention to and try to work on as this game goes on.
1st and 10 for Indianola on their own 46-yard line. Pistol. Blake throws it out, and he's got a man, and the catch is made over there by Graham, and they drag him out of bounds. Dare and Haas get him out of bounds. Indianola, they'll take some deep shots, but they like to just throw it out in space and let their guys see what they can do.
Well, yeah, their guys they're very good at winning in space when it's one-on-one with another defender.
And it's a gain of 10 on the play. So they move the sticks. 1st and 10 for Indianola on the Lincoln 44. Here's a pistol and a handoff to Heimbaugh, and he gets down to about the 40-yard line. And it was Muhammad Darbaugh who came over from his right end position to make the tackle, but it's a gain of 5 or gain of 4. We're just not. They're really winning the battle up front right now, aren't they?
Well, yeah, their offensive line is just beating down our defensive line. We're going to need to have a heavy rotation in order for this to work for us tonight.
2nd and 6 at the 40. Graham in motion. They give it to him on the jet around the right side, and he's going to have the 1st down. He gets inside the 35-yard line. He needed to get to the 34. He's pretty close, and they are going to move the sticks.
That's another Indian 1st down brought to you by Bill's Floors. 1st and 10 Indians.
So he picked up 7 on the play, did Graham. And Indianola 1st and 10 on the Lincoln 33. Indianola leads 7-0, 3:46 to go here in quarter number 1. Here's the pistol. Now handoff to Heimbaugh. Big hole off the left side. And, boy, nobody even getting to him until he's about 7 or 8 yards downfield. And it was Darbaugh again from his defensive end spot. But, boy, they're just handling us up front.
Well, they're just beating us down and just making us mentally and physically exhausted. And we're only in the 1st quarter. So, I mean, we're going to have to fix this. We're going to have to wake up, man, and try to make a stop here.
A gain of 13 for Heimbaugh. Indianola has it 1st and 10 on their own 21 on the Lincoln 21. Here's Blake. Hands off to Heimbaugh again. Big hole right up the middle. And they finally drag him down from behind. That was Derek Dare on the stop in there along with Jetta Hubbard. And you're hearing us, Jetta, a little shaken up on that one. So Caudell Richardson will come in. Caudell Richardson when your safeties are making all your tackles, Larry, that's a problem.
That's always an issue when your safeties are making all the tackles. That means that they're getting past your first level. That means they're getting past your first level and your second level, which means they're getting past your defensive line and your linebackers. And when that's happening, you have a serious problem.
1st and 10 at the 11. Here's a give to Heinball off the right side. Jukes a man, fights his way, goes in for the touchdown. Mm. 11-yard touchdown run for Heinball. And Indianola has a 13-0 lead here with 2:36 to go in quarter number 1. And we have timeout for an injured rail splitter, and that's Cadell Richardson, but he gets up right away, but he'll have to come off the field here. So Indianola, with a 6-play drive, they go 56 yards. And now the Indians will come on to attempt the extra point here. So that's your McRae Park Animal Hospital scoring drive. 6 plays, 56 yards. And Heinball with an 11-yard touchdown run. And now Ruiz will come on and try to make it a 14-0 game. It's been all Indianola. Kick is up, and it is no good, but we have a flag. And I think we have offsides, I think, on Lincoln. The line judge across the way made the call. And it is offsides on Lincoln, so that'll move the ball to about the 1.5-yard line.
So do they still kick a field goal, or do they just put ice in the wound? And
well, I think we're going to find that out. Ruiz is still out on the field. Now, their kicker, I think Eric Kluver is trying to decide what he wants to do here, and he's talking to the line judge across the way. Trying to move the camera here a little bit. I'm doing play-by-play and camera work tonight. And Larry, our question has been answered. Ruiz is going to stay out there and try the PAT. So try to make it a 14-0 game. Ball is down, kick is up, it's good. Indianola leads 14-0. 2:36 to go here in the opening quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter Football.
In the game of life, there's no get-out-of-jail-free card, but D&J bail bonds might be the next best thing. Fast, confidential, and professional, the D&J bail bonds help you get back to your life. From one family to another, you can depend on D&J bail bonds for fast, reliable bail bond services. There when you need them. Call D&J bail bonds at 515-975-4867.
Lincoln Rail Splitter Football on the Rail Splitter Radio Network is brought to you by Lynn Automotive, Christian Edwards Print and Graphics, the Build Lincoln Hire Club, Chicago Speakeasy, Brad's Collision Center, and Vision Custom Sign and Graphics. Let's go back to the field. Here is Todd Guessford and Larry Gamblin.
Indianola leads at 14-0. 2:36 to go here in the opening quarter. And time of possession, pretty bad right now, Larry. We've run 3 plays on offense, and that's about it. So, we had a good play on first down on the first drive, but then it just kind of fell apart after that.
Well, did we, though? Because on the first play, they busted for 95 yards.
I'm talking about when we had the ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we
got a 7-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, we showed a little something on the first play.
But it fell apart after that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ruiz kicks it off to the far side, and it's going to roll into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Damani Wesley was over there trying to decide, do I let it go or try to run and get it? And he made the right choice. It went out through the end zone. Lincoln will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
This drive is going to be so crucial, Todd, because we already can't afford to be down 14-0. And Indianola's offense is moving the ball pretty easily, honestly. And if we can't get a score here, man, it's going to be an issue for us long term in this game, because being down 3 scores and we're only in the first quarter could be a real issue.
Railsplitters come out, wing tee, pistol wing tee here on first down, I should say. Here's a give and a bad handoff between Severino, and I think that was Davon Wesley. I'm not sure what happened, but they just could connect, and the ball on the ground. But thank goodness Dom got on it. It's a loss, but
these are just the things you can't have. When you're this far into the season, those things should be figured out. We can't have the balls on the ground like that. And thank God we got it back, but still, now we're in a negative set to start this drive.
So it's a loss of 3 on the play. Actually, a loss of 4 back to the 16. Here's second down. Here's a give to Kawak. Adam trying to get around the right side, and he gets up across the 20. Used his speed a little bit there, and he got up to about the 21-yard line. So
that was a positive
Adam
game.
Not very big, but we saw him, and you heard Coach talk about it. We did watch him break some tackles last week.
Yeah, he's not easy exactly to take down. Yes, he's a little guy, but he's a scrapper, man. He's going to make it difficult on you, and he's going to fight for every single yard.
They spotted up at the 22, so it is 3rd and 8 for Lincoln on their own 22. And the handoff to Damani Wesley, and boy, they have been all over him so far, and they drop him for about a half-yard loss. They spot it back at the 20, so it's a loss of 2, so it's going to be another 3 and out for Lincoln here. It's 4th and 10 for Lincoln on their own 20-yard line.
Correction, Wilbur on the play. Gordon back deep for the Indians.
Luke Gordon deep for Indianola. Hubbard in punt formation. Jetta thought about it for a moment, then kicked it, and it didn't go very far, but it does take a Lincoln roll, and it gets all the way up to about the Lincoln 45-yard line. So it is a punt of about 25 yards. Our regular punter, Gabe Cruz, is still not back from concussion protocol, so hopefully we'll get him.
Giving them excellent field position with the way their offense is already moving. Ugh.
And we have a penalty against Lincoln. So they're going to move it even further down to the Lincoln 36-yard line. Again, if we are on the visitor side, so we don't, the referee is not looking at us. 1st and 10 for Indianola on their own 36. 30 seconds to go here in the quarter. Here's Heimball, spins and he's still going, still dragging tacklers inside the 25 down to about the 23. Man, I thought we had him wrapped up at about the 30-yard line, Larry. He just kept moving.
I told you, man, he reminds me of a little Mike Allstott out there. His legs just keep turning and turning and turning. It's going to take more than one person to bring him down.
Well, they spot it down at the 23-yard line, so it's a gain of 13, and Mr. Heimball is well on his way here to a 100-yard game again. Seconds winding down here in the first quarter. We'll see if the Indians get the play off before the quarter ends. They do. Here's Blake rolling to his right, and we have an official stoppage here.
Timeout.
Timeout, Indianola. So Eric Kluver didn't like something that was going on there, so the Indians take timeout. So Serenity, let's take the break with them. Indians lead at 14-0, and we will return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Jack's Place Bar and Grill at 6112 Southwest 9th Street is one of the new fun spots to go to in Railsplitter country. Featuring delicious burgers, wraps, tenderloins, and much more, there's always something great to eat at Jack's Place. Combine that with excellent service and a total fun atmosphere, and Jack's Place is a delightful mix of a restaurant and bar. Thursday night is trivia night. Enjoy bingo on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4, and check Facebook for all updated information, including live entertainment.
Radio Network, brought to you by Pet Supplies Plus, Brad's RV Repair Center, State Farm Insurance Agent Brad Van Meter, Livingston's Automotive, and Borden Arrows Pizza. Let's go back to the field. Here is Todd Guessford and Larry Gamblin.
Well, we got a few seconds left on the clock here. I think about 3 seconds to go before this first quarter is over. Indianola called timeout. They are going right to left. And I think there should be about, the referee is asking, Michael Hansen's asking for 2 seconds, I think, on the clock. Clock is showing zeros right now. Yep, 2 seconds, and then we'll have one play here from the 23-yard line, and then we will switch ends. Railsplitters trail 14-0. Got to get a stop here. Got to keep the Indians out of the end zone. Pistol formation. Blake calling signals. Now has a man in motion across the formation. Here's a give to Heinball around the right end. And Darboll came up and grabbed him and threw him down. And, Larry, that's the first time we've seen any kind of defensive penetration tonight.
Oh, yeah, they need to feed off of that now and take this into the next quarter and try to get a 3-and-out, make them try to kick a field goal. That would be a very successful deal for us if we were able to do that.
First quarter is history. Indianola leads at 14-0. Serenity, let's take a break. We'll return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
A trusted name in the auto repair business, Amco Transmission and Total Car Care has been doing quality transmission repair for years. Honesty and dependability is what you can expect, and that extends to the Total Car Care. From plugs to wires to oil changes and battery replacement, Amco does it all. And Amco has generous financing and comprehensive warranties to ease your mind. At 3416 Southeast 14th Street, remember the name, AA MCO. Call 515-280-6465.
Todd Guestford, Larry Gamblin, our technical director tonight, Serenity Mefford. She's doing a fabulous job. It's great to have her here. And Serenity, I'm hoping you're going to give us a little good luck here as we start this second quarter. As Indianola leads Lincoln 14-0, and they have it 2nd and 10 at the 23. That's what I was trying to say. Here's a give to Heinball off the left side, and Hubbard had him, lost him, and Heinball is going to go all the way. Did he get in? He's down by the goal line. Jetta Hubbard had him back at about the 22-yard line, but couldn't wrap him up, and Jetta comes running off. He's hurt.
Well, that's part of it, Todd. It's like I was saying before. He's not a guy you can take down with one man. And when Jetta wrapped him up, his teammates should have been there to support him and make that tackle. If his teammates were there, they're not in the end zone, and it's possibly a tackle for a loss.
Well, and he was the only one out there, so it's first and goal for Indianola on their 2-yard line. A 21-yard gain for Heinball. Wishbone, they give it to Heinball off the right side. Is he in? Yes, he is. The FAR official says he is in for the touchdown. So Heinball with a 2-yard touchdown run. And Indianola leads this game by the score of 20-0. They go 36 yards in 4 plays, and we just simply cannot stop them up front, Larry. We're really getting beaten up front. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're getting bullied on the front line. I mean, there's not much we can do. We're trying, but the best thing I can say is don't give up, keep fighting. It's only the second quarter, the start of the second quarter. You still got plenty of football to play.
Serenity, let's take another break. 21-0, Indianola leads here. 11:45 to go before halftime. We'll return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
When you want your dinner to be Italian special, To Me and Sons Restaurant and Catering is the place to go. This 4-star restaurant has been treating people to Mama's homemade Italian recipes for over 25 years. Lincoln grads Joe Jr., Mario, and Louie love to give back to schools and churches. They also support Best Buddies and the Diabetes Foundation. Great food for lunch and dinner, and there's a bocce ball court in the back. To Me and Sons Restaurant and Catering at 1501 Southeast 1st Street. When you need it to be Italian special.
On the Railsplitter Radio Network, Lincoln Railsplitter Football is brought to you by Cash Saver, the Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm, Smitty's Tenderloin Shop, Blank Golf Course, and Brad's Complete Auto Care. Let's go back to the field. Here is Todd Guestford and Larry Gamblin.
Daxton Heinball with his 4th and 5th touchdowns of the year, and a touchdown pass from Bo Blake to Rylan Hilton. And you like that, Indianola leads 21-0 here, 11:45 to go before halftime. Ruiz will kick it off, and it is Davon Wesley and Braylon Jenkins deep for Lincoln. Jetta Hubbard is sitting behind the bench talking to the trainer. Here's a kick taken by Braylon Edwards, and he bobbled it for a moment. Then he picked it up, and by the time he picked it up, Larry, all he saw was purple.
Now he's up, it looks like about the 15, 16-yard line now.
So Lincoln will take over. 1st and 10 on their own at their own 16-yard line. Lincoln's 3rd drive of the game. First 2 have been 3 and outs. And the Railsplitters come up to the line of scrimmage. They have 3 receivers here to the near side. Here's Severino, pitches it out. Trying to get outside is Adam Kawak. And Adam, boy, Indianola had guys out there waiting for him, didn't they?
Well, it's going to be difficult for him to beat those sidelines because their sideline to sideline is just impressive as a whole when it comes to the whole team. There was about 4 or 5 guys who were in position to make a play on that tackle, which makes it very difficult for these fast running backs to get outside on the outside because there's just not enough speed to try to get outside fast enough to get past Indianola. Indianola's just right there. They're ready for those quick jets and those sweeps.
Give Adam credit. He picked up 4 yards. He got up to the 20, 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Damani, and Damani fights his way up to about the 25-yard line. Kind of did a nice little move in the running lane there, Larry, to pick up a couple extra yards.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think they're going to need to do. They're going to have to keep them honest, and they're going to have to keep trying to hand them the ball up the middle, even if it's 1 yard or 2 yard game, because it forces them to respect the fact that you are willing to run it up the middle, and then it gives you the opportunity to hit those outside when they have to bunch everybody up in the middle.
Well, he only gave Damani 3 yards on that play. I thought he got more than that. Here's a pitch out to Adam Kawak. Adam trying to cut it up, and there's just nowhere to go. He was fenced in by that Indianola defense. The linebackers.
Well, Lincoln's defense off of the line is not getting any pressure, so everything is behind the line of scrimmage. And that's nowhere where you want your offensive line to get. You always want them to have 1 or 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, which gives the running back an opportunity to read and make a play.
So it's going to be a loss on the play back to the 20-yard line. So it is 4th and 6. And DJ Armstrong is back to punt because Jetta Hubbard, who normally punts, is been getting attention from the trainer behind the Lincoln bench. So Lincoln's on their 3rd string punter here. If Jetta, it looks like Jetta's going to get back in the game here, but so Tom Alessio had no choice, Larry. He had to call timeout.
Yeah. Anytime you're down to your 3rd string punter, that's the last thing you want to see is him out there trying to bomb one when you're basically at the 15-yard line. Yeah, I mean, it makes it a little bit more difficult to confidently send your 3rd string punter out there. So it's nice to see Jetta Herbert back out there to make the kick.
So Jetta's back in punt formation.
Love your smile. Enjoy the process. Foster Orthodontics offers the most up-to-date digital scanning and treatment planning. Clear braces, clear aligners.
And we have a timeout taken here, so we'll keep it right here for a moment. Timeout's just about over. Indianola leads at 21-0. They have touchdown drives of 90 yards, 56, and 36. Bo Blake hit to Rylan Hilton for a 34-yard touchdown pass to get the scoring started. And then Heinball with an 11-yard run and a 2-yard run here in this first half.
It looks like they're going to send the house, Todd.
Yeah, and DJ Armstrong is back to kick. It's a terrible snap, and DJ's in trouble. And
no, it's Jetta.
Now it's still loose. It's in the end zone. Indianola may have recovered it for a touchdown.
That was Jetta, Todd. That wasn't DJ.
Jetta, that was, well, it was a terrible snap.
Yeah.
Terrible snap. And
they scored on it,
They scored on it. The ball got powered into the end zone. And Indianola, I'm not sure who recovered it, but the Indians recover the punt for a touchdown, and it's 27-0. So it's just kind of going from bad to worse here right now.
Yeah, it looks like Lincoln is just kind of falling apart, man. Somebody's got to get a spark here, get their team back interested in this game because they seem uninterested right now.
Well, Coach Alessio told me this week that he didn't think they had a great week of practice, and that's a little puzzling for me because you're coming off a win. You should be inspired to play some better football, but I talked to several of the coaches, and they were just not impressed with. And sometimes if you don't practice well, it can change on game night, but usually if you don't practice well, Larry, it doesn't bode well for the game.
Well, yeah, generally how you practice is how you play. I tell my son this all the time. How you practice is how you play. If you practice crappy during the week, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have a pretty bad game. And given what coaches said, it shows. They're just seem unmotivated out there. Kids are not really making plays like they normally do. And Indianola is just eating up all of our weaknesses, and there's just nothing we've been able to do so far in this game.
Well, it's already 28-0.
Yeah.
If this doesn't start improving pretty quickly, we're going to have a running clock in the second half, and this game will be over before we know it.
Well, yeah, we still have 9 minutes in the second quarter, and it's already 28-0. So just imagine, and that, oh, man. That would be just very devastating if we can't get something.
Well, this
going
is this
offensively.
adversity thing that we talk about, that Coach Alessio talks about. How are you going to respond to adversity? Here's a kick taken at about the 15-yard line by Braylon Jenkins, and Braylon with a nice return up across the 30. He'll give Lincoln their best field position of the night, Larry. They're outside their 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot it, but Braylon with a good return of about 24 yards.
Well, yeah, this puts you in an opportunity to make something happen on this drive. Put some points on the board. Try to establish some form of offense in this game.
So 1st and 10 for Lincoln. They take it on their own 34-yard line with 9:33 to go in the first half. They come out in the pistol wing tee. Severino turns, hands it off to Davon Wesley. It is Davon Wesley, and he has a big game, but there's a flag down in the backfield, so this is probably coming back. I don't know what we have, but I think it's.
I don't know what he's calling.
I'm not sure what that signal is. A lot of times that's a hit on a player that.
Wasn't conduct?
Yeah,
or something,
but that flag was thrown immediately. So, but anyway, it's that big gain is coming back, and it might have been illegal formation. I'm not sure, but
that's what I'm thinking.
Spotted back at the 29-yard line. So it's 1st and 15 right there. And here's a give to Damani Wesley. It was Davon who had the nice run just a minute ago. He really, he busted through that left side, and then he was hard to get on the ground.
Yeah, it was a very impressive run. And sorry, it's sad that, that's the thing we talked about, penalties. Penalties shoot us in the foot every time. So what ended up being a big gain, now has ended up being a negative gain because of a penalty.
He got 3 yards, did Damani, up to the 32, so it's 2nd and 12 at the 32. Pistol wing tee, Jenkins in motion. Here's Damani trying to run off the right side, and
that's a tackle for a loss.
Tackled for a loss back there by Peyton Wilmer, one of their top linemen. He was a tight end earlier in the year, and they had so many injuries on the offensive line that they asked this young man to change his jersey from 84 to 64 to help him on the offensive line, and he has really helped him. And I think it's Damani who is down on the ground for Lincoln at the 28-yard line. He's been battling a knee problem.
Yeah, and he's just been trying to play through it. You got to respect his grit and trying to just fight it out and be here for his teammates. But, man, he's looks like he's in some significant pain out there right now.
So they will tend to him, and hopefully he's okay. Coming up at the half, we'll have our State Farm insurance agent Brad Van Meter first half scoring summary. We'll name our Southside Hy-Vee Stores first half MVP. Plus, Larry and I will review the first 24 minutes of this game and get you ready for second half action. That's all a part of our Vision Custom Signs and Graphics halftime report. Well, Damani is up and walking, but he has a serious limp to that walk. And like you said, Larry, he's trying to play through a tough injury. Coach Alessio said he's not 100%, but he wants to go. And that time he was running east and west, and with Damani, you don't want him east and west. You want him north and south.
But part of that is he's injured, so he's doing things that he normally wouldn't do and trying to compensate for him being hurt. But just do what you do, big dog. Just run through the middle, whether it's 1 or 2 yards.
He lost 4 on the last play, so it's 3rd and 16. Here's Severino, throws it out. He's got Hubbard, and Jetta is tackled up at about the 32-yard line. That was a good pass from Dom that time, and but Westcott, one of their safeties, come up and made the tackle.
Well, that is a good pass, but it just kind of boils down to we weren't on time on our plays, because we got those penalties. So, well, it was a good play. There was no way to execute it for a first down because we were so behind the sticks.
So Jetta Hubbard back to punt at the Lincoln 32-yard line. Actually, the ball's at the 32. He's standing back at about the 20. And Gordon is deep for Indianola. Jetta thought about running it. Now he kicks it. And it's a short kick. And it takes kind of a sideways bounce out there. And Darbaugh downs it at the Indianola 49-yard line. Jetta, he's trying to do the best he can back there, but, punting is not obviously his best talent, but he's doing what he can.
It's not. Part of the issue with him punting is he's always looking to run, so he's not taking the steps that he's necessary in order for him to get a decent punt. That's the risk you take when you have a player who's not generally your kicker or your punter. He's more of your running back or your safety, but, he's doing the best he can out there to help Lincoln get back in this game. 1st and
10 for Indianola on their own 49-yard line. But before this play unfolds, Tom Alessio wants a timeout. He wants to talk to his defense here. Ramel Lane in particular wants to talk to his defense. So Serenity, let's take a break if we can. 28-0, Indianola leads. We'll return. You're listening and watching Lincoln Railsplitter football.
The Montgomery St. John's Insurance Agency is a locally owned and operated independent insurance agency serving Iowa and the central Midwest for over 50 years. MSJ handles all lines of insurance, auto, home, business, life, and health, and they find the best rate for you. Now located at 1510 Oral Labor Road, Suite D in Ankeny. Give them a call at 515-287-2443. Montgomery St. John's Insurance, proud supporter of Lincoln High School athletics. Looking for a nicer, newer vehicle? Stop in at Brad's Used Cars, your local Southside car dealer, located at 1003 East Park Avenue, where they can help anyone get into a nicer, newer vehicle, no matter your credit situation. Brad's Used Cars has access to over 20 local and national lenders to help you get approved. For fast and easy financing, apply today at bradsusedcarsinc.com or give Brandon a call at 515-850-1201.
Back to the live action here, and on first down from their own 49, Daxon Heinbaugh with another big gain, and Kowak gets him down, but not till he gets down to the Lincoln 31-yard line, so it's a gain of 20, and Heinbaugh a little shaken up and has to go off the field and behind the Indianola bench after that 20-yard run. So
they're just steamrolling this Lincoln defense. I mean, that front seven, they just right now aren't standing a chance against this Indianola offensive line. They're just banging and banging and banging, and it doesn't look like there's any way you're going to stop it.
Two backs in the backfield here and a kind of an offset eye on first down. Asher Brick is in the game for the first time at quarterback, and he throws it out, and he completes it out there to his wide receiver, Joshua Green. And it's a gain down to the 20-yard line. So first time we've seen Asher Brick in the game, and he is in there at quarterback right now. He has backs to each side of him here. And he hands it off right up the middle, and that is Ian McDonald, their backup running back in there, and he blasts off the right side for 5 or 6 yards.
Well, it's this offensive line, man. You know, we alluded to it earlier when we were talking about they're not very big, but they're scrappy, and they're just opening up big holes. Like, these holes are so big. If I was playing running back right now, I could run through them. So these linebackers need to step up and fill these gaps and stop letting this Indianola offensive line eat at them.
So it's a gain of 5 on the play for McDonald, and 2nd and 5 for Indianola on the Lincoln 21. Brick in the pistol. He's rolling to his right. He's a left-handed thrower. Now he sets up and throws in the end zone and knocked away. Intercepted by Braylon Jenkins. Did he stay in bounds? The officials say no, but Braylon with a great play there in the end zone.
It was a great read by Braylon. You know, got his hands up, got his hands on the ball. I think it was an interception. He had 1 foot in, but, you know, we don't have instant replay here. But that was impressive. You know, they're down by 28 points, and he's still out there trying to play and get a victory for his team, and that's what I like to see. Don't just go down and just basically just give up. Continue to fight.
So Indianola comes up with a 3rd and 5 here on the Lincoln 16-yard line. Brick the quarterback. McDonald is the back behind him in the pistol, and they give it to Ian McDonald off the right side. He's got lots of room to run. He breaks a tackle, and is he in?
He's in.
He's dangerously close. Look like they spot him down inside the 1-yard line.
He looked into me.
Gained 15 on the play.
Oh, man.
Another Lincoln player is down. And I can't tell who it is. But, yeah, this Indianola, you know, Tom Alessio has been shouting out praise for this Indianola team all week. He said, hey, you heard him, Larry. He said that they, without a doubt, and no disrespect to Centennial, but he said he felt like Indianola was going to be the best team that we played all year.
Well, yeah, because Indianola is very sound. They don't make a lot of mistakes, you know. They just play the game the way that they've been coached, and 50-50. You know, it's hard. Anytime you go against an offense that is 50-50, it's hard to try to, you know, play against them and try to figure out a good way to get a successful victory in the game because, listen, Indianola's got a powerhouse team here. You know, that offensive line makes all the difference. The offense and defensive line are getting pushed, giving their linebackers chances to make a play, and as far as offense, giving their running backs a chance to make big runs. Because every run I've seen has at least been over 5 yards. And that's impressive to see when you're basically averaging 5 yards a carry, no matter whose the back is.
Yeah, they come in averaging about 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Here's a give to McDonald, and he is stacked up this time, and he's thrown for a loss back at about the 3-yard line. And that was Anthony Macarino in there. Also, Darbaugh was in there, and Ian Sanchez playing in there with that bad ankle, and they drop him for a 2-yard loss back to the 3. The injured Lincoln player, by the way, was Hersan Sirleaf.
Well, and this is what you want to see, Todd. You want to see your boys still trying to fight. They still got some dog in them. You know, they're trying to keep them out of this end zone.
2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. Brick is still the quarterback. Pistol with McDonald behind him here. And Brick wants to throw. He throws it out in the end zone, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit his receiver in the back of the end zone, Luke Gordon. Good coverage by Lincoln back there, Larry. And 3rd and goal coming up.
You know how crazy this is, Todd? This is only the 2nd time that they've been in a 3rd down situation in this game. But they've had over 13 first downs already in the first half. Like, that offense has been impressive.
And time of possession, good grief.
Oh,
That's
man, yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe that. 3rd and goal for Indianola. They have receivers to each side, pistol formation here from the Lincoln 3-yard line. Brick, the quarterback. He has McDonald behind him. Takes the snap, wants to throw the slant pass, incomplete. He was trying to hit his receiver on the slant play, Parker Kaufman. And good coverage out there.
Yeah, it was very good coverage. And, man, that's surprising. You know, the score wouldn't tell you this, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd downs.
Well, we'll see what Eric Kluver wants to do. Eric Kluver in his 22nd year at Indianola, he had not so fond memories, Larry, of when you were playing for the Railsplitters in the Tom Mihalovich era. So,
well, that's because back then Indianola had some dogs, and I had to prove that I was equal. So I had played my butt off against Indianola.
Kian Ruiz is on to attempt a 20-yard field goal here out of a hold from Bo Blake. Ball is down,
Nice
and the
block.
kick is blocked. And I think that was Hubbard that got
was
that.
Hubbard. Yes, it
Jetta
was.
with the block kick. So the Railsplitters are able to hold off Indianola. They blocked the field goal. And let's see if that can light a fire under the offense here a little bit, Larry. The ball's going to come out.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that. Your defense makes a goal line stand essentially, and then you block the field goal, so they come away with 0 points. Now you got to go and show your defense that it wasn't for nothing essentially.
They're going to spot the ball at the Lincoln 8-yard line. I'm not sure how they come up with that spot, but 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters at the 8. Here's Severino, wants to throw. Pass is intercepted. And running back the other way with it for Indianola is Max Martinez. It was intended for Max Jones, and Max,
he tipped it.
He had a hand on it, but he couldn't control it, and he tipped it right to Martinez. And a turnover, and the Indians get it right back. Not what you needed right there.
Well, no, I mean, you know, your defense gets you out of a bind, and then you think them with a turnover themselves. I mean, it's very hard to bounce back from, essentially. But
Well,
I hope they can.
Defense has been on the field the entire first half.
Yeah, it's rough.
1st and goal for Indianola. They have it at the Lincoln 6. Brick is the quarterback with McDonald behind him in the pistol. Takes a snap, now gives it to McDonald, running off the right side, barreling his way forward. He's not in. He got down to the 2, maybe the 1 before the Railsplitters get him on the ground.
Yeah, let's see if this defense can get another stop, but it's going to be rather difficult.
Mohamed Darbo made the tackle, but his helmet came off, and I think he has to come off the field here. So DJ Armstrong will come in at defensive end. A gain of 4 for McDonald. So it's 2nd and goal for Indianola on the Lincoln 2. Offset eye in the backfield here on 2nd down. Here's Brick, hands to McDonald again, and he's in off the left side for a touchdown. So Indianola takes advantage of the Lincoln turnover, Larry, and it's 34-0.
Well, you know, we talked about this at the beginning of the game, Todd. You know, Indianola's a very good, sound team. They're coached very well, and they're all bought in. Lincoln was going to need basically a perfect game to even be in this game.
Self-destruct out there.
I don't know. And, you know, I don't know if they've completely self-destructed yet. I see some of these kids still trying to fight for it, still trying to put in the work. It's 34-0, and it's not even halftime, and I haven't seen any of those stupid penalties that we generally get for, you know, personal fouls and stuff. So that shows a little growth. I just hope they, you know, go to halftime and come out 0-0.
Let's just don't surrender.
Yeah, 0-0 is how they need to look at it when they come out after.
Ruiz on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, ball is down, kick is up, and it is good, and it's 35-0 Indianola with 3:51 to go here in this first half. Let's take a break. We'll return. You're listening and watching Lincoln Railsplitter football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
Now celebrating 20 years in the automotive repair business, Lynn Automotive is quietly taking great care of their customers with quality general engine repair work and brake repair work. Lynn Automotive specializes in finding those electrical diagnostic problems that aren't easy to find. Air conditioner trouble, need new tires? Roger and Matt Lynn can take care of it. Stop in and see them at 1712 Southeast 1st Street or call 515-282-2812. And remember, if it's broken, Lynn Automotive can fix it.
Back here at Indianola Stadium in Indianola, it's 35-0. It's been all Indians here in the first half. The McCray Park Animal Hospital scoring summary, 6 yards on 2 plays. And Ian McDonald, their backup running back, scoring the touchdown. And it's 35-0 here. I wish it was 20, only 28, but it's 35. And Ruiz will kick it off. And now's where we find out what kind of fight we have here, Larry, you know.
Well, these are soft-side kids, so I expect them to fight to the end. But, I can't expect kids all be the same, right?
Kickoff taken by Jenkins at about the 6-yard line. Braylon trying to break some tackles. It was a good kick by Ruiz, kind of one of those ugly balls down there that bounced around, and Braylon had to control it before he could run with it. And by the time he did that, all he saw was purple, Larry.
Man, it's like watching LSU versus Notre Dame out here right now. Man, LSU is out here throttling us. We got to get something going, man. Our offense just has been subpar today, man. I just haven't seen much out of them. I need to see some kind of, something, some energy, at least go into halftime with a score. Come on, guys. We got to get this going.
Well, Lincoln 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line here and they've already started the running clock here, 35-0. I thought that didn't start till the second half, but they've already started that. Here's a pitch to Hubbard, and Jetta no place to go. He is thrown down to the ground. Yes, he was, by Draven Westcott. Draven Westcott, one of their very good linebackers. He's their Sam backer.
It looks like Damani may be
done for the night.
Yeah, he may not be coming back in this game, and that's going to be a big blow for us.
Loss of 2. And here's a give to Davon, and he's running well. Davon off the left side. He's been the biggest bright spot running the football tonight, Larry.
At this point, you might want to give him the ball a little bit more. He looks like he's got a little something going. You got to ride it out. Give him a couple carries, see what he can do with it.
Well, that's a Airport Chiropractic chunk play as they spot it up at the 34-yard line, or at the 29, excuse me. And so it's a gain of about 12 yards, and it's a 1st and 10 for Lincoln. Pistol wing T. Here's Severino, gives it to Kawak, and he was thrown down in the backfield. Boy, they blitzed that time. Riley LaFren's one of their defensive linemen. He just flew there. Nobody blocked him, Larry. And,
that's the problem.
And Adam didn't have a chance.
You don't have a lot of blockers, and this is what I was talking about earlier, Todd. Yes, those kind of plays are awesome, those jet sweeps and those wing tees, but if everybody does what they're supposed to, stays in their lanes, when that safety is coming up off of that edge, it forces that running back to have to slow down and try to cut back upfield. And if those defensive linemen are doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're going to make a play in the backfield every single time.
So it is a loss of 4 back to the 25-yard line. 2nd and 14. Clock running here. 1:58 to go before halftime. Indianola leads at 35-0. 2nd and 14 at the 25. Here's Severino, fakes, wants to throw, and he threw it right to an Indianola player, and it's going to be an easy touchdown. I'm not sure who Dom was looking at there, but there was nobody out there, and Cole Meyer picked it off, and did his receiver fall down?
He was looking at Davon, and I think Davon got hit, and he fell on the ground. Man, that's tough.
He threw it out there, and there was only purple jerseys out there. And Cole Meyer with an easy about a 20-yard interception return for a touchdown, and another Lincoln turnover.
Yeah, man, it's
So here's Ruiz on to attempt the extra point. Try to make it 42-0. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. Not by a wide margin, but he got it over the crossbar. And with 1:39 to go in the half, it's Indianola 42 and Lincoln nothing. We'll take a break. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Christian Edwards Print and Graphics is more than just a printer. They're a partner you can count on to help you leave a lasting impression. Their team of experts spanning over 40 years works to understand your needs and develop strategic solutions to help you succeed. Service sets them apart. They never settle for good enough. From apparel to posters and postcards, packaging and promotional items, large format to fine print, Christian Edwards can help you reach your audience with projects of all shapes and sizes. Call them at 515-280-9765.
So it's 42-0 Indianola, and the Railsplitters have thrown 2 interceptions. They've had a fumble to punt that ended up in the end zone. So we started -7, and, we're double digits again, my friend.
Yeah, man, and it's only the first half. I don't know what to say. I just hope they continue to fight and, try to put some points on the board.
Well, Indianola scored 4 touchdowns here in the second quarter. Second quarter is Lincoln's all year has been their toughest quarter to score. Lincoln has only scored 8 points in the second quarter all year. Here's a kick bobbled by Hubbard at the 20, and then what was that?
What are you doing?
He throws it the other way. It's picked up and taken into the end zone. Good grief, what was that? Just fall on it and take the loss. Man, I don't know what that was. The kickoff went right to him. It went right through his hands, Larry. Then he went to pick it up, and then he had purple shirts all around him.
He's trying to make a play, but in a sense, that's.
And it's a muff kick, so you can't return it for a touchdown. But Indianola recovers it on the Lincoln 7-yard line, so it's 1st and goal. But you don't throw across the field thinking that one of your teammates is going to grab it. That was crazy.
He's doing too much. There's nothing else to say. He's just doing too much.
So the Indians are coming to the line of scrimmage. We're probably going to see a lot of different names in this Indianola lineup here, and now they are. What are they? Are they changing it? They're saying it's a touchdown.
I have no idea.
Referee Michael Hansen says it is now a touchdown, and Tom Alessio wants an explanation for that. And I thought it was.
Well, I mean, it was still. I guess technically, it was still a live ball because he threw it backwards.
But it was a muff, right? I mean,
no. I mean, it was a kick return. He caught it and he threw it backwards for whatever reason. He threw it back. Oh my God!
Never be able to explain that one to me.
He's trying to make a play, but in a sense, that was just a naive move. That's a boneheaded move.
Yeah, you're not making a play when you're doing that.
No, you're essentially giving the ball away, making plays like that.
So Ruiz on to attempt another extra point. This one is up and through. And it's 49-0 Indianola with 1:27 to go here in the first half. It's been a rough night, and we're not even through the first 24 minutes of this game. Let's take a break. Serenity, we'll be back. You're listening and watching Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Since 1944, the Bill Lincoln Hire Club has had one goal: make Lincoln High School better. A nonprofit agency whose funds have played a major role in every improvement project at Lincoln High School, BLH gets its funding from concession stand sales, volunteers, membership dues, and the rail shop. And all the money going to support the students at Lincoln High School. To become a BLH member, go to buildlincolnhire.com.
Back here in Indianola, well, Larry, it's gone from bad to worse. It's 49-0. Hubbard is not back on the kickoff coverage this time, kick return coverage.
I wonder why.
I think they thought, well, Jed, we're going to try somebody else maybe. Adam Kowak is back. And Davon, Wesley's back there, and Braylon Jenkins, they are the deepest three for Lincoln. Minute 27 to go here before halftime. Here's the run-up and the kick. It's a short kick, going to be taken at about the 23-yard line. Muhammad Darbo showing a little
today, man. It's been rough, Todd. It's rough to watch. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see much of anything out there. They're not necessarily fighting with each other, but it's just like they don't even care.
I think they maybe have resigned themselves to the fact, and I'm not talking just because it's 49-0. I think a little bit earlier we maybe decided we couldn't win this game. I don't know. It's just some goofy things have been happening for sure. 1st and 10. Here's Severino, and Dom's going to try to run, and he slides down back at the 26-yard line. So I don't know if that was a messed up handoff there, Larry, or what, but it's a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, I have no idea, Todd. A lot of stuff it's kind of like their offense is just having a meltdown right now. Some of the plays that they're trying to make, they're not executing. Tosses aren't working. It's just like the offense is just non-existent right now. I'm hoping that we could just get into halftime and maybe reset and do something different in the next half.
We have not been able to throw the ball at all in the first half. So Indianola, you look at them, they got 8 or 9 guys around in the box. Here's a give to Adam Kawak, and he is stacked up.
Well, for whatever reason, I do not know what happened within the last couple of weeks to Dominic Severino, but it's almost like he's got happy feet now. He's getting rid of the ball so quick. He's not giving the plays time to develop when he's got some receivers right open, and that's in return was part of the problem why Max tipped that ball and it was intercepted because it was thrown behind him when he was trying to make a play.
Well, this demoralizing first half has come to an end, and it is Indianola well in command here by a score of 49-0. Our Vision Custom and Signs and Graphics, halftime report is coming up. We'll return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
Brad's Collision Center is your full-service body shop, preventative maintenance, and auto repair center located at 1400 Army Post Road. In business since 1984, Brad repairs all makes and models and works with all insurance companies. And when I need auto body repair, I trust Brad's Collision Center. Give them a call at 515-287-7743. Brad's Collision Center, where perfection is barely enough. At Vision Custom Signs and Graphics, speed, accuracy, and uncompromising quality are the cornerstones of what they do. Founded in 2018, they specialize in creating high-impact yard signs, stickers, decals, and banners using their top-tier tools and equipment. That, combined with the love and passion they put into every sign, is truly what sets them apart. Call 515-809-2264. Vision Custom Signs and Graphics at 5807 Fleur Drive, Suite A. Let's make something great together. It's a pet's world, and we're just living in it. That's why your locally owned Pet Supplies Plus has 10,000 products to keep your pets healthy and happy, and they're all at the guaranteed best prices. We know pets can't wait to be spoiled, so we make it easy to shop online and get free same-day delivery. Save money, save time, shop your local Pet Supplies Plus. Find us at the Wakanda Shopping Center in Des Moines and shoppetsuppliesplus.com. Introducing Brad's Collision Center RV Repair, located at 7384 West Highway 92 in Indianola. Already a trusted and respected auto body and repair business, Brad's Collision Center now does collision repair and mechanical repair, along with general maintenance on all types of RVs. Brad also works on all types of fifth wheel pull behind campers of every shape and size, and they have storage facilities for your RV. Give them a call at 515-808-9001.
The Railsplitter Radio Network at Guestford Broadcasting on YouTube, it's time for the Vision Custom Signs and Graphics Halftime Report. Your vision, their focus. Your number one source for all things vinyl. Call 515-809-2264 and let's make something great together. Here is Todd Guestford and Larry Gamblin.
And we are at halftime, and our score is Indianola 49 and Lincoln nothing. And this is the Vision Custom Signs and Graphics Halftime Report. It has been all Indianola. Time of possession in this game is ridiculous in their favor. Lincoln's defense has been on the field pretty much the entire first half. We'll talk about some of the Lincoln drives here in just a moment. But let's look at our first half scoring summary brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Brad Van Meter. With great rates on all lines of insurance, stop and see Brad at 4229 Fleur Drive in the Wakanda Shopping Center or call 515-256-6480. Well, Indianola took the ball. Lincoln deferred. Indianola got the ball first. They bobbled the kickoff, and Lincoln did a good job of pinning them in. Indianola started on their own 10-yard line. The first play, Daxton Heinball went down the right sideline for 90 yards and a touchdown, but that was called back because of a penalty. So that didn't deter the Indians at all. They went 10 plays, 90 yards, and it was Bo Blake who started at quarterback, and he threw a 34-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Hilton, the 5'10", 165-pound junior. And Kian Ruiz with the extra point. And 7-0 Indianola with 7:27 to go in the opening quarter. After a 3-and-out by the Railsplitters, Indianola took over on their own 44-yard line, and they went 56 yards in 6 plays. And it was Daxton Heinball, who's had a big first half running the football. He's up around 100 yards, trying to tally it up here when I get a moment to do that. But Daxton with an 11-yard touchdown run, Ruiz with the PAT. As I said, 6 plays, 56 yards, and 14-0 Indianola with 2:36 to go in quarter number 1. Another 3-and-out by Lincoln, and a short field for Indianola. Lincoln has had a fumbled punt for a touchdown, and they've had a fumbled kickoff for a touchdown, and they've also thrown a pick 6. So just about anything that bad can happen has happened, and Indianola's third drive was 36 yards and 4 plays, and it was a Heinball again from 2 yards out. PAT good, 21-0. Then on the ensuing possession, the Lincoln fumbled the punt, and the Indians picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. Fumbled the punt back into the Railsplitter end zone, actually. We were deep in our own territory, and they recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. Again, the PAT was good, and a little over 2 minutes later, 9:40 to go in the first half, Indianola leading 28-0. And then they took advantage of a Lincoln mistake down in deep in Lincoln territory, and Indianola went to 6 yards on 2 plays, and their backup running back, Ian McDonald, with a 2-yard touchdown run. PAT good, 35-0, 3:51 to go before the half. And then we were on running clock after that. And then Dom Severino threw an interception to Cole Meyer, picked it off at the 20-yard line, and had clear sailing to the end zone. He ran it in for a pick 6, and that made it 42-0 with 1:39 to go in the first half. And then on the ensuing kickoff, one of the strangest plays you'll ever see, Jetta Hubbard had the ball go through his hands. He grabbed it, and then as he was going down, he threw it across the field. He threw it backwards, and that's a live ball at that point, and Indianola picked it up and ran it in for an easy touchdown. So that made it 49-0. And just, from bad to worse is what we stand here at halftime. It is 49-0. Indianola in favor of Lincoln. We had a running clock before half. We'll have a running clock to start the second half unless Lincoln can get something together offensively and try to make a difference in this game. 49-0 at the break. Let's take a break. We'll return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter.
State Farm Insurance Agent Brad Van Meters, your local agent, ready to help you protect all the people and the things that mean the most to you. Brad offers great rates on home, auto, life, renters, personal articles, business, health, and pet insurance. And State Farm can also help you with your banking and annuity needs. In the same location for over 25 years, 4229 Fleur Drive in the Wakanda Shopping Center. Give Brad Van Meter a call at 515-256-6480. Nestled in the heart of Des Moines' South Side at 6108 Southwest 9th, Board and Arrows Pizza radiates warmth and welcomes guests with open arms. With its cozy atmosphere, friendly staff, and a menu bursting with mouth-watering dishes, it's the perfect place to unwind and savor a delightful meal. Open 4:30 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 4:30 to 10 Friday and Saturday. Board and Arrows is also open for lunch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 2. Call 515-287-1607. More than 80 years, Cash Saver's goal has been to provide your family with quality products. Featuring brand names like Best Choice, Always Save, Superior Selections, and Clearly, Cash Saver gives you outstanding quality and great tasting products while saving you money. Located in the Wakanda Shopping Center at 4121 Fleur Drive, Cash Saver is open daily from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. with friendly staff ready to assist you. And remember, Cash Saver saves you cash.
Back here at Indianola Stadium, we're at halftime. It's 49-0. Indianola on top of Lincoln. And it's time to select our Southside Hy-Vee Stores first half MVP. And that is kind of a difficult task tonight, but I think Larry had to step out for a moment. I think and we talked about it before he left, that we definitely agree that it would be Davon Wesley. He had a couple of nice runs in the first half. That's been really about the only bright spot that Lincoln has had on offense. The defense has been on the field the entire first half. I wish I had time to tally up the time of possession for you folks, but I'm guessing it's about 19 minutes to about 5 minutes is what it is, time of possession in favor of Indianola. And that's just a rough estimate, but I'm guessing that it's probably not too far off. Indianola completely dominating the first 24 minutes of this game. So we'll go with Davon Wesley as our Southside Hy-Vee Stores first half MVP with 3 locations: 4605 Fleur Drive, 1107 East Army Post Road, and 3121 Southeast 14th. Shop Hy-Vee. We have 3 great Hy-Vee stores on the south side of Des Moines, employee-owned and operated. And like I say, Shop Hy-Vee. You look at the Lincoln drives in the first half of this game. The Lincoln's best field position was on their own 34-yard line. And they started inside their 23 times. And I think Lincoln, I'd have to check with Larry, he's track of that, but I think Lincoln has, let's see what Larry has here. I think he has Lincoln for 2 first downs. That sounds about right. Just has been a lot of 3 and outs here in the first half. So not much pretty discouraging here at the moment. Let's hope that these Railsplitters, they come out and show some pride here in the second half. Larry was talking about it. Get out there and forget about what the score is and just play here in the second half and see what we can do to make a difference in this game. So it's 49-0, and that is going to wrap up our Vision Custom and Signs and Graphics halftime report. Our Montgomery St. John's Insurance second half is coming up in just a few minutes. You keep it right here. You're watching Lincoln Railsplitter football.
Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm PLC is a committed and innovative team of legal professionals on aggressively pursuing justice for their clients. Located in Des Moines East Village at 301 East Walnut Street, Suite 1, the lawyers at Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm PLC can be reached at 515-288-5008. Voted City View's best tenderloin for 10 years running, Smitty's Tenderloin Shop is just one of those places on the South Side that everyone knows and loves. Family owned and in business since 1953, Smitty's makes their tenderloins and onion rings from scratch every single day. Dine in or order out by calling 515-287-4742. Smitty's Tenderloin Shop at 1401 Army Post Road. Smitty says, eat a tenderloin. Or stop in at blank at 808 County Line Road.
Let's make something great together. The second half of Lincoln Railsplitter football is just moments away on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
The Des Moines Southside Hy-Vees, Fleur, Southridge, and Park Avenue locations are more than just proud sponsors of Lincoln High School athletics. Your neighborhood Hy-Vee is a full-service grocery store. It's a bakery, a deli, a pharmacy, the meat market, Hy-Vee caters. There's the floral department and so much more. And don't forget about the quality Hy-Vee brand names, which along with using your Fuel Saver card, saves you money. Shop Hy-Vee at 4605 Fleur Drive, 1107 East Army Post Road, and 3221 Southeast 14th Street. Your Des Moines area transmission experts, Knutson Transmission, has been serving Des Moines and the entire state of Iowa since 1951. Their quality, reliable, and honest work, combined with their integrity and reputation, has made them second to none. With the best products from top quality vendors, the guys at Knutson give you the assurance of being back on the road as soon as possible. At 4301 Southeast 14th Street, give them a call at 515-285-7561. Knutson Transmission, for those who want the best.
You're listening to second half coverage of Lincoln Railsplitter football, brought to you by Montgomery St. John Insurance, providing independent insurance to Iowa and the central Midwest for over 50 years. Call 515-287-2443. Let's go back to the field. Here is Todd Guessford and Larry Gamblin.
And the second half has not started. I played the I played the wrong spot, but that's okay. 49-0. Lincoln trailing Indianola, and Larry, hopefully some soul searching going on in the locker room at halftime.
Well, I would have to say so. I mean, 49-0 at halftime. This is basically going to be a half of pride. You know, you're going to have to come out and try to do your best you can. Get some points on the board, continue to fight, you know, not let this game get even more out of hand. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you're playing for your pride right now. I mean, that's essentially what you're doing, because 49-0, that's going to be pretty dang difficult to try to conquer in one half, especially with the way the offense has not moved. So, I mean, I just don't know what to say, Todd. I mean,
yeah.
It's just a pride.
There's just not much you can say about this first half. Yeah. It's just been kind of a disaster, and let's hope the second half is better here. Want to give a shout-out to Tom Alessio. Is it his sister-in-law that's in Iowa City that's listening tonight? I know his mom was down here. I'm not sure.
She is the sister-in-law, and she's here tonight from Iowa City.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Is what she was
all
saying.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I want to give a shout-out to her, and you know, anytime anyone wants shout out, just let me know. So the second half is coming up. We will take another break here, and we'll come back. We'll have second half action for you. 49-0, Indianola leads. We'll return. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter football.
It's a Southside landmark that keeps going strong. Henry J's Taco House. Located at 2924 Southwest 9th on the corner of Southwest 9th and Virginia, Henry J's Taco House is celebrating over 50 years in business. Now, Henry J's isn't just famous for their tacos, burritos, and enchiladas. Their sausage sandwiches made with Graziano sausage may be the most popular of all. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Henry J's Taco House. Stop in and see them. If you're experiencing pain, you need to call Dr. Tom Schultz at Airport Chiropractic. Making families in Des Moines feel better for over 30 years, the experienced team at Airport Chiropractic offers expert care for neck pain, back pain, headaches, sciatica, and many other health issues. Located at 4214 Fleur Drive, Suite 4, just 1 mile north of the airport, let Airport Chiropractic help you live your best life. Call 515-285-4000. Located just north of Lincoln High School, McCray Park Animal Hospital supports the health and well-being of your family pets. Chris Knable's been a longtime supporter of Lincoln Athletics, watching his 4 kids compete through the years. Family-owned and operated for over 40 years, you and your pet's needs are their top priority, so bring your pets to McCray Park Animal Hospital at 2227 Southwest 9th or call 515-282-0600, the home of your other family doctor, your veterinarian.
On the Railsplitter Radio Network, it's time for the Montgomery St. John Insurance second half, providing independent insurance to Iowa and the Central Midwest for over 50 years. Call 515-287-2443. Here are Todd Guessford and Larry Gamblin with the Montgomery St. John Insurance second half.
And it's 49-0 Indianola. Larry and I are hoping for some more bright spots to talk about here in the second half. I would imagine that Eric Kluver will get a lot of it maybe done for the night. Why would you put him in 49-0?
If he's not feeling well and you're already up by a big lead, you might as well just rest him and let him heal up a little bit.
D&J Bail Bonds, fast, professional, confidential. They're there when you need them. Call them at 515-975-4867. Here's the kickoff, and it's taken by Jetta Hubbard. Jetta down the far sideline. He's into Indianola territory, and he's down to about the 34-yard line. He kind of took that on the run at about the 25, I think, Larry. And man, I don't have the exact yardage on that, but that is a chunk play all the way down to the Indianola 34. That's a gain of about 39 yards on the kickoff.
That's also a nice way to start this half. Come out, get some positive yardage, be in a good opportunity to put some points on the board. You can't ask for a better start than that. Let's see if they can execute offensively and put the ball in the end zone.
So Lincoln in plus territory for the first time tonight. They have it at the Indianola 34-yard line. Severino, the quarterback. Here's a give to Davon Wesley, and Davon continues to run hard, Larry, down to about the 30-yard line. He's big, and he's a little faster than his brother, and not a knock on Damani, but he's just a little bit faster, and he's getting through that hole a little bit better.
You got thunder and lightning here, his brother, he's a bulldozer, kind of runs through, but Davon is more shifty. He's more stealthy. He's got that third gear that you look for in a running back.
Only a gain of 4 on the play. I thought he got more than that. Here's Severino, hands off to Adam Kawak. Adam, a little bit of room off the right side. He gets down to about the 27. Indianola's got a lot of, looks like a lot of second-team guys in there right now. So,
yeah, and while we got a minute right now, Todd, a couple of scores going on right now. Southeast Polk 21, Iowa City 7 in the second quarter. West Des Moines Valley 17, Ankeny Centennial 7 in third quarter. And Indianola, obviously, the score of that game. And Ballard 28, Des Moines North 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shocker. 3rd and 2 at the 26. Severino gives it to Davon. And Tank has got the first down. He gets inside the down inside the 25, down to about.
And that's great. That's what we needed to see. Some ball movement, positive yardage, moving down the field, getting the man with the hot hand the ball. That's smart play. Just trying to execute some plays to get this offense rolling.
Well, Tank got it down to the Indianola 22, so he picks up the first down. And Lincoln in business at the Indians' 22-yard line. 1st and 10. Just underway here in the second half. Here's a pitch to Davon Wesley trying to run around the right side, and he has run out of bounds near the where the where the ball was snapped at the 22. He didn't get much there. In fact, I think it's no gain on the play. Good job by several purple shirts over there to run him out of bounds.
Couple more scores while we have a moment. Carlisle 10, Gilbert 7, Des Moines Christian 48, Saydale 0, Newton 21, Pella 14, Harlan 28, Creston 7, Norwalk 35, Des Moines East 12, Newman Catholic, that doesn't matter to us, Urbandale 42, Sioux City 7. Let's see what else we got here.
2nd and 10 at the 22. Here's a pitch out to Jetta, trying to round the left side, looking for room, and he maybe got a yard down to the 21. Indianola really doing a good job of really stretching out that play, Larry, and waiting for the pursuit to come to make the tackle.
Well, yeah, and Lincoln is still getting positive yardage, which is what we're needing in this game, which is better than what we've seen in the first half. So I'm impressed by what we're seeing right now, especially given the circumstances of the game. Also, real quick, last score for me, last two scores. Waukee 34, Marshtown 7, Dowling Catholic 14, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0.
Thank you, Larry. 3rd and 10 at the 22. Severino in the shotgun, wants to throw, throws it over the middle to Hubbard, who was running a shallow little button hook right there. And Jetta gets it down to about the 20, maybe the 19. It's a gain of only 2 on the play.
So the question is, we're going for it.
We got to go for it.
Yeah.
4th and 8 on the 20. And the Railsplitters are dangerously close to getting into the Brad's Collision Center. And we'll see what Dan Goebel has cooked up for this 4th and 8 play. Clock and 7:35 to go, third quarter. Lincoln on the wrong end of a 49-0 score. And now we have a timeout called by Tom Alessio. They were late getting the play in. I'm not sure Dan knew what exactly they wanted to run, so they're going to take a timeout here. So Serenity, let's take a break ourselves. 49-0. Indianola leads. We'll return. You're watching Lincoln Railsplitter football.
In the game of life, there's no get-out-of-jail-free card, but D&J bail bonds might be the next best thing. Fast, confidential, and professional, the D&J bail bonds help you get back to your life. From one family to another, you can depend on D&J bail bonds for fast, reliable bail bond services. There when you need them. Call D&J bail bonds at 515-975-4867.
Todd, Larry, and Serenity back here with you at Indianola Stadium. Railsplitters have a 4th and 8 coming up at the Indianola 20-yard line. And they brought in Satil Mache Jingo to attempt a field goal here. It's going to be about a 37-yard field goal. Good snap, ball is down. Kick was partially blocked, I think. Either that or he didn't get it up very far, but it's no good.
Yeah, it just seems like they just couldn't think.
Check that. It was, I think they.
It's 88.
Yeah, it was Bo Spenner, who is 88, so I'm not sure who they're talking about. But anyway, way short of the first down.
So now Lincoln should get it back with decent field position.
And we will see the punt formation for Indianola here for the first time today.
Yeah.
And Heinball is their punter, and a pretty good kick. It rolls inside the Lincoln 30 or inside the 40-yard line. They'll down it at the 38. Will Indianola? So that's about a 50-yard punt there, Larry.
Yeah, man, that was impressive. And Lincoln still has good field position, but way to change the field position because
could have been a lot better if it wasn't a 50-yard punt.
Exactly.
So Lincoln 1st and 10, and they have it on their own 38-yard line. Severino is the quarterback. See, Chaz Thomas is in a sling on the sideline as well. He took a big hit earlier, and he hasn't returned. Here's Severino. Throws it out over the middle, intended for Braylon Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm not sure where
And Dom took it. Dom took a hit when he let it go.
Well, and that's part of the problem tonight. Like I said, the last couple of weeks, Dom's looked like he's seeing ghosts out there. He's got some happy feet, and that's just part of all the hits that he's taken. He's got to be able to trust this line, be able to sit there and be able to make those throws. But he's got to be able to know that his line is going to give him the time to be able to execute.
It was Ben Mallory who made the big hit on him. 6 foot, 245-pound junior. Pistol wing tee here on second down. Here's a give to Adam Kowak trying to run the right side. He cuts back and gets some positive yardage. He's up across the 40, to about the 44. Looked like he picked up about maybe 6 on the play.
That was a great gain, because now it puts them in a manageable position in order to be able to get this third down possibly.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up for the Railsplitters on their own 44-yard line. 3 minutes to go here, third quarter, 49-0. Urbandale leads. We're in a running clock situation. Jenkins in motion. He had to duck from the snap. He may have got there a little too early. Then they gave it to Kowak on a counter, and boy, no place to go there, Larry. I think he lost a yard.
Counters can't work if your line doesn't block. While they're trying to run that counter, there's 3 different defenders in the backfield with them, which makes it very difficult in order for your running backs to make a play. Those linemen got to hold up. I just don't know what else to say. Without a line, you can't do anything. You can have the best skilled backs in the game, but if they don't have somebody to block for them, it's not going to make a bit of difference.
Adam was, of course, a candidate for the Des Moines Register Player of the Week. I don't know how that turned out, but he certainly deserved it. Did he get it, Serena? Or Serenity, I'm sorry. Here's a handoff to Adam on 4th down, and he needed 4, and he got 3. He got up to the 47. So the Railsplitters will have to give it back to Indianola on downs.
That's Lincoln's 3rd turnover of the game.
So Indianola will have it in plus field position on the Lincoln 47 here. Minute 40 to go in this third quarter. Serenity, do you know? Did he get it? She's looking it up for us. He was a candidate. It was between him and another kid, and I can't remember who that young man was. But Adam certainly deserved it for his. And it was really, Larry. You think about it. Timeout, Indianola here. We'll keep it right here for a moment. Serenity's looking some stuff up for me. You think about it. Adam last week had 1 carry for 10 yards in the first half. Okay. And then he went absolutely nuts in the second half. 14 carries for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, he had the 75-yard run. Then he had the, I think, what was it, a 52-yard run or something like that? Yeah, I mean,
he has the talent, but that's the thing. Teams can look good depending on who they're playing, right? Well, Indianola is more of a heavier opponent than what they played last week. And so if you can't get out of the backfield, you can't expect your running backs to make plays. This all falls on their offensive line. They need to give this running back holes. They need to surge 1 to 2 yards down the field, open holes, let those running backs make plays. It's been very bad to see tonight, offensive line and defensive line.
Indianola 1st and 10. Here's Hoyt handing off, and carrying the football is Luke Ebert, a 5'8", 155-pound sophomore. The Railsplitters throw him for a loss.
Cherry and Handy in there making the stop for the Railsplitters.
Evan Handy in there, and Tyler Cherry for Lincoln for the loss on the play. And it's a 4-yard loss back to the Indianola 48-yard line. Adam, Serenity tells us it's official. Adam finished 2nd in the balloting this week, so he did really, really well. Here's a handoff to Ebert again, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. It was Tim Croy, 6 foot, 210-pound junior for the Railsplitters, making the tackle. No gain for Ebert. We're down to the final seconds of this third quarter, so we'll be taking a break here. 49-0. Indianola leads. Lincoln will take a break. We'll return. You're watching Lincoln Railsplitter football.
Jack's Place Bar and Grill at 6112 Southwest 9th Street is one of the new fun spots to go to in Railsplitter country. Featuring delicious burgers, wraps, tenderloins, and much more, there's always something great to eat at Jack's Place. Combine that with excellent service and a total fun atmosphere, and Jack's Place is a delightful mix of a restaurant and bar. Thursday night is trivia night. Enjoy bingo on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4, and check Facebook for all updated information, including live entertainment. A trusted name in the auto repair business, Amco Transmission and Total Car Care has been doing quality transmission repair for years. Honesty and dependability is what you can expect, and that extends to the Total Car Care. From plugs to wires to oil changes and battery replacement, Amco does it all. And Amco has generous financing and comprehensive warranties to ease your mind. At 3416 Southeast 14th Street, remember the name, AA MCO. Call 515-280-6465.
Fourth quarter underway. Here's Becker Hoyt's pass, and it is caught out there in the flat by Ryle Kurtz, a 6'2", 175-pound sophomore, but he got maybe a yard. Lincoln defends that very well.
He had some players out there flying to the ball, trying to make a play, which is what we want to see. Continue to fight hard in this fourth quarter. Don't allow them to score any more points.
So it is 4th and 14. And I believe that is Bo Blake that is back there to kick. Normally it's Daxton Heinbaugh, but we haven't seen him since he kind of ran off the field there after a hard tackle. The kick by Blake is a good one.
Kick.
It's inside the 20-yard line, down at about the 11. So
Indianola just can't do no wrong tonight.
Got a nice bounce at about the 25, didn't he?
It did. Rolled all the way down to the 10. Man, oh, God.
So Lincoln will have it. 1st and 10. Let's see where they spot it. I think they're going to spot it at the 11-yard line. So that's a 41-yard punt. Lincoln's had terrible field position tonight, too. That's been
for
a
the
problem.
Most part, and even they've had only a couple of times where they've been in decent field position.
We had the kickoff return from Jetta, but we couldn't do anything with that. Here's a handoff on 1st down to, I think that's Braylon Jenkins. But Lincoln with a procedure penalty coming up here. So that'll cost him 5 yards. I believe that's the call.
If this is your lucky number, you just won $400. 844-9406. 844-9406.
So Indianola, Lincoln lost some yards, I believe, on that play, but I think Indianola is going to decline the penalty. What I thought I saw the official say they were declining it. And, he's telling them the down marker, it's 2nd down. So, Lincoln lost yardage back to the 5. So it is 2nd and 16. And here's a handoff again.
And that's only the 2.
And Severino actually was keeping at that time, and he was tackled back at about the 2-yard line. He doesn't run. I'm not sure what we're doing. I don't know if that's a missed assignment. That's happened a couple times tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now, Todd. At this point, I just think everybody's just trying to make some form of a play.
So Severino lost 4 yards. So it is 3rd and 20 for Lincoln on their own 1-yard line. Receivers to each side, pistol formation. Now Isaac Parker goes in motion. Here's a nice run, and running down the near side with it is Braylon Jenkins. And he breaks off an airport chiropractic chunk play all the way up to about the Lincoln 47-yard line. Little counter play there. And the key on that Larry, was he made a great cut after he got through the first line to get away from a couple of defenders, showed his quickness, and he races up to the 42. It's a gain of 41.
That's their first third down conversion tonight, Todd.
So Braylon for 41 yards right there. 1st and 10 for Lincoln on their own 42. An Airport Chiropractic chunk play. Here's Severino. He hands it off. Here's Kawak and Adam around the right side. Run out of bounds on the Lincoln sideline here after he picks up a few yards. Indianola with a lot of sophomores on the field right now for the Indians.
Yeah, Lincoln needs to take advantage and try to get some points on this board. They're moving the ball pretty impressively right now, so let's hope they continue.
Kawak picked up 5. It's 2nd and 5 for Lincoln. On their own 47. Clock continues to run. 8:09 to go. Split backfield here on 2nd down. Severino wants to throw down the field and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Braylon Jenkins. And boy, Larry, explain to me. I don't understand. Braylon's helmet comes off. I don't understand why. We have a lot of kids, their helmets come off too. I'm struck. It's been going on every week of the season. I'm trying to understand why that is happening.
Because apparently nowadays it's cool for your chin straps to be loose on your helmet or not even have them buckled up at all. And that's stupid because it's very unsafe. And one of those helmets pops off in the middle of the scrum, you could be severely hurt. You're supposed to have it secured tight all the way around, and these kids don't do it.
3rd and 5. That's a pretty good explanation. 3rd and 5. Here's a give to Davon Wesley, and Davon gets up to midfield, but he's going to be a couple yards short here, so it's a 4th down situation. Lincoln coming into tonight. Lincoln has been pretty good on 4th down, 41%, 7 for 17. I'm not sure what they are tonight. I know they've converted a couple. Jetta converted one on the fake punt, but
on 4th down, you said, Todd?
Yeah, how they been tonight?
Tonight they're 1 for 1.
Okay, so this is their second 4th down.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch out, and running around the left side is Anthony Fleming, the sophomore.
They're 1 for 2.
Actually, he's a freshman, and one of the young and bright stars for this Lincoln team coming up, but he is tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And Indianola will take over on downs right at midfield here.
Indians take over on downs, 1st and 10 at the 50.
So 6:15 and counting to go here. Indianola has it 1st and 10 at midfield. And, the class guy that Eric Kluver is, they've gone very vanilla here in the second half.
Well, I have a lot of respect for the Indianola coach. Nothing too fancy, just letting his kids get some reps, not trying to do anything to put more points on the board, really.
Man in motion here on 1st down. Here's a pitch on the little inside handoff, and carrying the football there was Kyler Boyd. Tate Brewer is in at quarterback. He's a 6'2", 155-pound or 6'2", 200-pound sophomore, Kyler Boyd's a 6'2", 150-pound senior, and he picked up a couple of yards on the play. And it will be 2nd and 8 for Indianola on the Lincoln 48-yard line. Pistol formation, receivers to each side. Now Gabe Williams in motion across the formation.
They're going to get Muhammad for offsides, even though he made the play.
And he did make a nice play.
He jumped the gun.
Well, you know what? They say that he saying he was drawn off.
Thank God, because, he was off quick. He was back there so fast. They're going to get it for offsides on that one.
So it will be a 5-yard penalty, which will mark it back to the Indianola 47. So clock stop for the moment here. Well, Larry, next week, let's talk about next week. Homecoming, always a big deal at Lincoln. Homecoming's a big deal at every school, but it's really a big deal at Lincoln. They've got the parade coming up, the Powder Puff game, and of course, the big game on Friday night against Urbandale, and we'll obviously have to have a much better effort next Friday night. Here's a handoff on 2nd down to Luke Ebert.
Well, yeah, Todd, I'll be very curious to see if we see the Lincoln team that we saw week 1, who was out there being aggressive and trying to fight for yards.
Where has that team been, by the way?
I have no idea. It's like they just showed us a little bit and just disappeared. The team that I saw tonight, man, I'm at a loss of words. How about that? That's just where I'm at.
Another penalty here for Indianola. And they're talking with Tom Alessio to see what he wants to do. And they haven't, the officials, how many does it take to spot the ball here? They're talking about, Larry, I'm not sure what they're talking about. I didn't see the signal for the penalty. So Indianola has backed up, so that would suggest that it is on the Indians. Yeah. But yeah, Larry, Urbandale is, another team that if we can show up and play, we'll have a chance next Friday night. But man,
if you don't show up against Urbandale,
we got to play a lot better.
It can get out of hand, roughly kind of like this one did if you don't show up to play against Urbandale. Urbandale is capable of that. I don't care what their team looks like every year. They're always capable of that.
It is a 2nd and 13 at the 47, so just or 3rd and 14. Here's a handoff again, and that is Luke Ebert, 5'8", 155, and a sophomore, and he gets up to about midfield, I think, is where they're going to spot it. Just shy of midfield. It's going to be a 4th and 10 coming up here for Indianola. Clock continues to run, 3:40 to go. And Bo Blake, the backup punter, just had a 41-yarder here a moment ago, and he is back to kick. And it looks like Cadell Washington is the deep man for Lincoln. Takes a Indianola bounce again, and boy, it keeps bouncing. Man. And boy, Cadell, get out of the way. Man, good grief. Man. The ball keeps rolling down there, and he's dancing around by the football, man. If you touch that, if that hits you accidentally.
Well, if I'm a gunner and he's like that, I'm pushing him into the ball.
Man.
I'm pushing him right into the ball so then I can just pick it up.
Man, get away from the football.
Yeah, he's the one who's supposed to be calling hot, hot, or fire, fire, which means get away from that ball.
Well, it did not hit Cadell Richardson. That's good. And Lincoln will take over. They'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 16-yard line. Fast second half here, 2:35 to play. And Lincoln a little late getting some players on the field here. Dom Severino still the quarterback. 5 on the play clock, man in motion, and a bobbled snap, and Severino has to fall on it back at the 1-yard line. He was trying to get it to Kawak, and I don't know what happened. They just did not connect.
Yeah, they need to scrap that damn play. That's just not working, and this has happened every single game at least once. They fumble on that counter. The counter is very pretty, but that is something that at this point,
if you can't execute it, don't run it.
Get rid of it, yeah. Otherwise, you need to be doing it every single day at practice. Literally every single day at practice, just with the same people so they get those reps and understand how that toss is supposed to look.
Well, they lost 12 on that play. It's back at the 2-yard line. Well, actually, they lost 14. Here's a handoff, and Adam Kawak is tackled in the end zone, and Indianola recovers it. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. He was trying to get outside, and Indianola kept stringing out the play. And he was either going to go out of bounds in the end zone or he was going to go down in the end zone, and he fumbled it, and it turns into a touchdown.
He just doesn't have that ball carrier vision that you'd like him to have yet. You know, when you're in a situation like that and you're in the end zone, you don't string it out. You just cut up and get out of the end zone. That's all you do because you want to minimize the possibility of a 2-point convert or a fumble in the end zone, in which case is a 6-point convert. And then if they get this field goal 7 points, man. It's just been ugly to watch tonight.
PAT attempted, and it is blocked.
No, it's not. It's good.
Did it go through?
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking through some glass.
The way
there.
he came through, it should have been blocked. But yeah.
We had lots of penetration.
Yeah.
I thought we might block it, but we did not. So with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go, Indianola recovers a fumble in the end zone to make it 56-0. They've had a fumbled punt that they've ran in for a touchdown. They had a
interception,
had a pick six, a kickoff return that was fumbled, went in for a touchdown, and now a running back stripped of the ball in the end zone. They fall on that for a touchdown.
I can honestly say, Todd, if that first-string Indianola team stayed on the field, I think they would have put up close to 100 points in this game. And that's sad to say, but the way they were rolling and the way Lincoln's defense and offense just haven't been able to get it going, it's been rough to watch.
Parker and Wesley back deep for the Railsplitters.
Davon Wesley and Isaac Parker are deep for Lincoln. And kicking off for Indianola is Caden Gazelle, their sophomore kicker. He was the one that just kicked the PAT. Just 71 seconds to go in this one. And he squibs it down the middle of the field, and it bounces off a Lincoln player, and it's picked up there by Von Anthony Fleming, and Von Anthony gets it up to about maybe the 35-yard line. And that will be first and 10 for Lincoln at the 35. We're under a minute to go here. Stay tuned. We'll have the Railsplitter wrap-up show presented by Jack's Place Bar and Grill. We'll recap the action and try to identify the outstanding players in this game. That will include, of course, the Lynn Automotive player of the game. Lincoln with lots of new bodies in the lineup and lots of guys over by the trainer's table. Severino is the quarterback. He hands off right up the middle, and that was I'm not sure. Yeah, that was Davon who carried the football. He's been the lone bright spot. Braylon had that 41-yard run here earlier, but Davon's been consistently the guy tonight, Larry.
Well, yeah, Braylon, he tried to come out here, or Damani, I should say. Damani came out here and he tried to give it his best. At fullback, just couldn't cut it, with that injury. But his brother Damon, man, he showed his own tonight. He came out here, he put his best foot forward. I have a lot more respect for him tonight than the way he played.
56-0 is the final score. Indianola wins it, and our Railsplitter wrap-up show, I should say, is coming up next. You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football.
When you want your dinner to be Italian special, To Me and Sons Restaurant and Catering is the place to go. This 4-star restaurant has been treating people to Mama's homemade Italian recipes for over 25 years. Lincoln grads Joe Jr., Mario, and Louie love to give back to schools and churches. They also support Best Buddies and the Diabetes Foundation. Great food for lunch and dinner, and there's a bocce ball court in the back. To Me and Sons Restaurant and Catering at 1501 Southeast 1st Street. When you need it to be Italian special. The Montgomery St. John's Insurance Agency is a locally owned and operated independent insurance agency serving Iowa and the central Midwest for over 50 years. MSJ handles all lines of insurance, auto, home, business, life, and health, and they find the best rate for you. Now located at 1510 Oral Labor Road, Suite D in Ankeny. Give them a call at 515-287-2443. Montgomery St. John's Insurance, proud supporter of Lincoln High School athletics.
The Railsplitter Radio Network. It's time for the Railsplitter Wrap-Up Show, presented by Jack's Place Bar and Grill. There's always something great to eat and lots of fun people at Jack's Place, located at 6112 Southwest 9th Street. Here is Todd Guessford and Larry Gamblin with the Railsplitter Wrap-Up Show.
Well, they're playing Take Me Home Country Roads here on the field, and a lot of fans enjoying that. It's going to be definitely a happy homecoming for Indianola. They actually they took Lincoln apart tonight, 56-0. This game was, you look back on it, Larry. Indianola had the ball first play. Heinball goes 90 yards for a touchdown. It gets called back, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It got called back, but they put a 10-play 90-yard drive together after that and scored on the pass play. And we had a lot of 3-and-outs tonight, and just unbelievable. Our special teams were terrible tonight. I'm just going to say it. We're terrible, and we just made some unbelievable mistakes in this game, and that's how you lose 56-0 in a game that you thought could be a lot closer.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, they called back the big run, the first play of the game, but even though they called it back, that still set the tone. Like, we can do this. This is what's going to look like all night, and it felt like after that big run, the Lincoln team just kind of just looked defeated after the first play, even though it was called back. It just looked like they didn't show up to play tonight. The defense couldn't minimize, the yards that were just put on the ground. I mean, they tried, they did their best, but Indianola just got some talent on that team, talent in that backfield, and it's very hard to compete with, honestly, especially when not all your players are healthy, or when you shoot yourself in the foot, put yourselves in 1st and 15 or 2nd and 20. We're not built to come back from things like that. We got to stay our course. 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2. We can make things happen that way, and we just couldn't get that done tonight.
We knew Indianola's front was really good.
We knew.
And boy, they were impressive tonight, weren't they?
That's what makes it even worse. You go into this game, you know what their front looks like. You know what they're capable of, and you still did not have a single answer for it. You couldn't even get 6 points on the board, not one score. It's just very demoralizing and disappointing, honestly.
Well, let's take a look at our Brad's Complete Auto Care final game scoring summary. We talked about most of the scoring occurred in the first half. The only score in the second half was Indianola recovering a fumble. Lincoln fumbled it in the end zone. They were down on their 1-yard line. They were trying to run wide, and Indianola stretched that out all night long. I mean, there was just very few holes there, and Kawak was stripped of the ball in the end zone, and Indianola recovered it, and that was the only score in the second half. But like we said, Larry, they took a fumbled punt in for a touchdown. They took a kickoff return fumble punt in for a touchdown. We threw a pick tonight. We had a fumble just on a running play in the end zone. I mean, good grief.
We had a total of 5 turnovers, and 4 of them came. It's either 4 or 3 of them came in the second half. It's bad because it's just like, what do you tell the kids after a loss like this? How do you get them excited about homecoming for next week? It's one thing to lose a game, but this is a little different. I mean, a lot of times this makes you question the locker room in a sense, because you don't go out and get beat 56-0 in a football game. You just don't.
When you thought it would be, I wasn't sure we were going to win the game. I told you today. Yeah. I told you to say like 35-14 or something like that. I thought it would be closer, and I thought if we didn't self-destruct that we could be in the game. But we were, like you said, from the very first play from scrimmage, we were not in the game tonight.
No, man, it just seems like we knew it was their homecoming, and we were just like, we're just going to lay down and let them have it. I mean, we did not do what I expected. Did I expect us to win? No. Did I think it was possible? Yeah, we played our game. I thought it would be possible. It would be a close game in the end, and maybe we would, slip one past them. It was like, I don't know. It was just like the ghost of Lincoln Week 1.
It's just some unfounded, there's things you just never think you're going to see. No. You saw tonight. So,
And they didn't get beat, by some trick plays or anything. They just got straight up.
We got beat.
They just got beat down.
And we beat ourselves.
Yeah. Running up the middle, play action passes. It wasn't nothing like fancy. We just got beat down. And let's just be clear. You think about it and you're like, well, man, we held them to 1 touchdown in the second half, so that shows progress. Their starters are all out. Don't even try to trick. They didn't even have their starters in.
They're playing all sophomores in the second half.
And then the sophomores were even able to score and hold you to no points. I mean, there's just a lot of regrouping that is going to need to get done. And some of these star players on the team, I'm not going to name names, but they need to be humbled, because this is a very humbling experience. And those leaders that you expected to step up did not tonight.
Well, at Brad's Complete Auto Care, they don't let big brand companies rob your wallet. They're at 1001 East Park Avenue. They can be your one-spot stop for all your auto care needs. Call them at 515-957-4271 or stop in and see them to get an estimate. It's time for our drive of the game presented by Pet Supplies Plus. I don't know if we had really a drive of the game. I'm thinking maybe the kickoff return from Jetta Hubbard might qualify. Might have to qualify for the drive of the game tonight, Larry.
I mean, that's pretty much it, Todd. That was the best drive that we had all game,
and that occurred on the kickoff.
Yeah.
So Pet Supplies Plus in the Wakanda Shopping Center at 4211 Fleur Drive. They have everything you need to take care of your dog or cat. Make sure you stop by Pet Supplies Plus. It's time to name our Henry J's Taco House Defensive Player of the Game. And, Larry, I don't know. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking there isn't one, Doc,
yeah,
but you got to pick one. I guess you got to pick one.
I'm not sure. Caden Haas and Derek Dare were and I'll tell you this: Jetta Hubbard made a lot of tackles tonight too, but I know what you're feeling about him, but I don't know. We just.
I guess if we had to pick one, it would have to be Jetta Hubbard because he did make some plays tonight on defense.
All right, so he is our Henry J's Taco House Defensive Player of the Game. They're celebrating over 50 years in business at 2924 Southwest 9th on the corner of Southwest 9th and Virginia. Check out their great food Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to take a break. We'll have more of our Jack's Place Bar and Grill Rail Splitter wrap-up show when we return. You're listening to Lincoln Rail Splitter Football.
Jack's Place Bar and Grill at 6112 Southwest 9th Street is one of the new fun spots to go to in Rail Splitter country. Featuring delicious burgers, wraps, tenderloins, and much more, there's always something great to eat at Jack's Place. Combine that with excellent service and a total fun atmosphere, and Jack's Place is a delightful mix of a restaurant and bar. Thursday night is trivia night. Enjoy bingo on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4, and check Facebook for all updated information, including live entertainment.
Todd Gaspard, Larry Gamblin, Serenity Mefford doing a great job being our technical director here tonight. 56-0 Indianola wins it, and it's time to look at our final game statistics brought to you by Spinach Tenderloin Shop, and we don't have the official numbers. I'm waiting for a text from Dom. I haven't got it yet, but Indianola time of possession. Good grief! First half it had to be. I was estimating at halftime, Larry. It had to be like 19-5 or something like that.
I would agree. I mean, it's just there were numbers that you just never see in a game period at any level of time of possession. I mean, that if you want to talk about chewing the clock, that is going to be the whole thing that coaches use for the next 5 years. Look at this drive on Indianola against Lincoln. Look how long they held the ball. I mean, that was very impressive to see. Indianola pressed me a lot tonight. You know, they look like a contender this season. Like they could hang with the Dowlings and the Valleys of the CML.
They got Centennial coming up. Tom's been saying all week that Indianola is the best team we played.
Well, yeah.
And who do you've seen Centennial and you've seen Indianola now. Who do you like in that game?
You know, it's hard to say because Lincoln did not show them much.
We didn't really see a lot of Indianola. Yeah. They were pretty vanilla in the first half.
Exactly. But if I had to say, based off of what I saw tonight, I mean, it would have to be Indianola, but I think it's going to be a close one. It won't be like this.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be very close.
Absolutely. It'd be very close. Mm-hmm. But, Indianola, very impressive. You know, Smitty's Tenderloins have been voted the best tenderloin in the Metro by City View over now for 10 straight years. They're located at 1401 Army Post Road. They are a Southside legend, and, of course, they are the proud host of the Rail Splitter Roundtable. Our AMCO transmission play of the game got to be Jetta Hubbard's kickoff return there. Braylon Jenkins had a nice 41-yard run, too. I might go with Braylon on that 41-yard run on the counter play.
That was nice. That was a good run. We haven't done offensive player of the game yet.
We're working on it right now, yeah. So the AMCO transmission play of the game is Braylon Jenkins' 41-yard run off the counter play. AMCO transmission located at 3416 Southeast 14th. You know that trusted name, AA MCO. Now it's time for our Brad's RV Repair Center leading producer of the game. And from an offensive standpoint,
my money's on Davon. Davon Wesley.
Yep. He
showed the most tonight to me.
He was really good. Really a lot of north and south running with him tonight.
Yep.
Some of the other guys couldn't get north and south, but Davon was doing that.
Yeah, he was doing very well. He was running north and south. He was being patient. When there wasn't blockers there, he was developing blockers, pushing them in the way where he wanted them to go. He fought to the bitter end, and I have a lot of respect for that kid tonight.
So he is our AMCO, or our Brad's RV Repair Center leading producer of the game. Brad's RV Repair Center, located at 7384 West Highway 92 in Indianola. Brad's RV Repair Center not only can repair your RV on the outside and under the hood, they have storage space available. Call 515-808-9001. It's time to name our Lynn Automotive Player of the Game. I'm going to vote for Davon Wesley.
I, too, am voting for Davon. He showed the most heart, the most grit tonight out of all the kids that I saw.
So he is our Lynn Automotive Player of the Game. Lynn Automotive at 1712 Southeast First, quietly taking care of their customers with quality automotive repair, specializing in electrical diagnostic repair. Give them a call at 515-282-2212. All right, my friend. Well, this game's over, and we got to start thinking about Urbandale. And right now, like you said, a lot of soul searching, and we gotta put it back together, or we're going to have trouble with the Jayhawks next Friday night too.
Well, yeah, you go, like we talked about earlier in the game, at the beginning of the game, you generally pick the teams that you know you can beat on homecoming. How bad would it be you picked Urbandale to think you could beat them on homecoming and they come and embarrass you at home? I mean, there's just a lot of things that they need to be talking about. There should be a players-only meeting. It shouldn't even be coaches, players-only meeting, because what they displayed on this field tonight,
not acceptable.
I'm just going to say it. If I was on this team, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be flat out embarrassed.
And that's saying a lot, because the North game was embarrassing too.
Yeah.
I mean, this was kind of like the North game a little bit, except the only thing, and we talked about it off air, the only thing, and this is a positive thing, some growth, Larry, no unsportsmanlike tonight.
Well, yeah, that was the biggest thing that I saw tonight. Given the score, and we talked about this, you would have thought you would have saw some unsportsmanlike conduct. So that is growth, right? I mean, and that's something to think about going into next week. I just need these kids, these leaders that they call them on this team, to say, hey, we need a team meeting. We got to talk about this, because coaches can do only so much. If a kid doesn't have heart, if a kid doesn't show up to play, there's not much a coach can do. A coach can't teach that. And it just seemed like these kids just didn't show up to play ball tonight. It was just like they were just here going through the motions.
Well, as Herb Brooks said years ago, the name on the front is always going to be important than the name on the back of the jersey. Mm-hmm. And, we got some kids that think the name on the back's a little more important than the name on the front.
We got some kids that seem to think they're going to go Division I, and let me tell you, with some of these personalities on this team, a Division I coach won't even glance at you. He'll just keep it moving, because they don't care how talented you are. They don't care how you perform on the field. If you have a bad personality and you're a cancer to a team, they'll just say, listen, we're going to go a different route, and then just keep it moving.
All right, sir. Well done tonight. Tough game,
Thanks.
But well done. Thank you very much. This has been a presentation of the Railsplitter Radio Network at Guestford Broadcasting on YouTube. We hope you enjoyed tonight's game. We didn't enjoy it, but we hope you enjoyed it, that we were able to bring it to you. Our next game is next Friday night, October 10th, when Lincoln hosts the Urbandale Jayhawks for Homecoming 2025. Our coverage will begin at 5:45 p.m. with the Build Lincoln Hire Club pregame show live from MediaCom Stadium in Des Moines, and we hope you join us. Thanks to Lincoln Activities Director Phil Chia and Indianola's Activities Director Ryan Sweeney for their assistance this evening. Thank you to Lincoln head coach Tom Alessio and his staff for their assistance all week. And thank you to Indianola head football coach Eric Kluver for his assistance as well. Our technical director tonight has been Serenity Medford. She did an outstanding job, and we were able to get video for you most of the evening, so we're happy about that. And as always, big thank you to my partner, Larry Gamblin, for his outstanding work here in the broadcast booth. And as always, a big thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors that make our broadcast possible. Make sure you stop in and take advantage of all their goods and services. The final score again tonight, Indianola defeats Lincoln 56-0. For my partner, Larry Gamblin, and the crew here tonight, Todd Guestford saying thanks for watching and good night from Indianola Stadium in Indianola. This has been Lincoln Railsplitter Football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.
You've been listening to Lincoln Railsplitter Football on the Railsplitter Radio Network. Brought to you by Brad's Collision Center, Tamia & Sons Restaurant and Catering, Christian Edwards Print and Graphics, the Build Lincoln Hire Club, Knutson Transmission, Cash Saver, Airport Chiropractic, Livingston's Automotive, State Farm Insurance Agent Brad Van Meter, Henry J's Taco House, Blank Golf Course, Lynn Automotive, Chicago Speakeasy, Brad's Used Cars, McCray Park Animal Hospital, Vision Custom Signs and Graphics, Jack's Place Bar and Grill, Brad's Complete Auto Care, the Dickey Campbell and Sahag Law Firm, D&J Bail Bonds, Bordenero's Pizza, Pet Supplies Plus, Amco Transmission, Montgomery St. John Insurance, your Southside Hy-Vee stores, Brad's RV Repair Center, Guestford Web Design, and Smitty's Tenderloin Shop. Join us again next time for Lincoln Railsplitter Football on the Railsplitter Radio Network.